Fiagbedu, and joining me today in the studios for our newspaper review is Miss Regina Bless and Debbie Adorso. Good morning, my gorgeous ladies.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
We are doing well.
How's the night?
Fantastic.
Oh, okay. We bless God for that. So let's dive in straight into our headlines for today. So for our first headline, we have Agenda 111. Mahama estimates $1.7 billion needed to complete hospitals. President John Dramani Mahama says his administration will require $1.7 billion to complete all unfinished Agenda 111 hospital projects. He said this at a meeting with the Christian Council, adding that some of the few completed ones lack the needed infrastructure to operate. During the gathering, he revealed that nearly 90 of the hospitals initiated under the previous government remain incomplete. The previous government started Agenda 111 but has been unable to finish the hospitals. There are so many of them unfinished. Even the ones that commissioned don't have a single bed. President Mahama suggested that religious organizations collaborate to support completing some of these delayed projects. So this is coming from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He is calling on all religious bodies. This was said at a meeting he had with the Christian Council. He's calling on all religious bodies to support him to finish the Agenda 111, which has to do with one hospital in each district, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So he's calling on all religious bodies to help support and then complete the hospitals. But his estimates for completing these hospitals is a $1.7 billion, which is needed to complete these hospitals, uncompleted hospitals. And to those that have been commissioned, there are no single beds in them. What do you make of it, Ms. Debbie?
You know, it's such a pity that we always come up with a policy or initiative. Like, we are only interested in bringing up an initiative, but we don't think like deep into what we want to do. The Agenda 111, which was introduced in 2021, was way back in 2021.
Yes.
And the main purpose of the Agenda 111 was to facilitate easy access to health care. Because especially in some parts of Ghana, in some districts, they struggle a lot. Some people have to walk about 30 miles, 20 miles, 50 miles just to get health care, especially when it has to do with the situation of a pregnant woman. And we know how bad our road is. And you have to convey this pregnant woman, say, in a distance of 50 miles before getting to a hospital. And so the Agenda 111, when it came on board, like, it was laudable. People actually praised it because when you look at our healthcare in this country, it's nothing to write home about. And so it was a good initiative. We applauded it. But it's also a time we realized that as if our people are only interested in coming up with an initiative to sweeten our ears, but they do not sit down to analyze stuff and ensure that, no, this is what we want to do. How are we going to achieve this? Because Agenda 111 hospitals is not something that you just wake up today and say you are going. It's not plastic bricks that you lay and then you tell me. It entails a lot. With the construction, you have to pay and a whole lot. And then you brought the Agenda 111. Everyone was happy because not everybody gets access to health facilities. And then the money that was secure was US dollars over 100 million that was used in the Agenda 111 project. And up till now, the previous government is out of power and the project is still not completed. And even the ones that are completed are lacking equipment. So to us, how does it mean to us? It's very bad. It's very bad. Because when the previous government was leaving power, even in their manifesto, they were not frank enough to tell us that the hospital they've started with, these were the ones they complete. What we were seeing was they were commissioning, and the ones they were commissioning wasn't fully completed. And even if it's fully completed, so you build down a hospital and then you left it down for the community to go and source for fund and provide the equipment in it. So this 1.7 billion that President Mahama is talking about, where are they going to get the money from?
So he's calling on the religious
to come and do that, to help him
to collaborate
with him
with the government.
Yes,
to complete it. So it's not solely going to come from the coffers of the states, but it's also going to come from the religious entity.
And where are they going to get the money from?
As to that one, we are yet to find out.
You see, it's very bad. 1.7 billion it's not a small money. We are talking about big money here, a whole lot.
Yeah.
And even if they are calling on to the religious body, how sure are you that they are going to contribute? Even if they will still contribute, I'm not sure it will be like we'll get enough money to source for this particular thing.
Okay, but do you think it was a bad idea for JM to go to the religious bodies to go and seek for that
it's
money?
It's not really a bad idea in a way, but in a way it's also bad because you are seeking for help from religious bodies, and we all know.
But they are also part of the state.
Yes, they are part. But what I'm saying is that where are they going? Okay, fine. So are they going to pinpoint? I mean, I know churches that get it.
But when
churches that can actually source fund, for example, like this. Should I mention him?
No.
Okay. Because some of them, they even go to the prison. They build a whole prison office, a cell for prisoners. So with those kind of churches, what they can actually help to, secure funds for this project. What I'm saying is that it's not that the religious group, they cannot actually source for fund. They will do it. But how sure are we that the money or the kind of funds they are securing, I know it's a helping hand they are giving to the government, but even with that one, are we still going to get the 1.7 billion? This is a whole money.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of
money. And was $100 million was used in this project. So with $100 million, what I thought did they do with it? Yes, they build the hospital, so that's it. So would they be sincere to us that with that $100 million, that was the only thing they were able to do? Oh, it's very bad, very, very, very bad.
Miss Regina.
Very, very bad.
Okay, so first of all, I would applaud President John Dramani Mahama for taking this upon himself to make sure that the Agenda 111 project is being completed, because we all have the perception that anytime a past administration starts an initiative, it's very hard for the next government to come on board and make sure that projects are being completed. We all can testify to the fact that a lot of projects are lying just there with a lot of money invested in it, and no one is making sure that all those projects are completed. So first of all, I would applaud President John Dramani Mahama. And also with the issue of collaborating with the Christian Council, I personally feel it's a good idea, because I wouldn't say church is a business. I wouldn't say that, but we all know that the kind of revenue they get, a kind of revenue that is being generated from the church is a very huge amount. And that $1.7 billion, no, I feel it's a peanut for some churches. Honestly, it's a peanut for some churches. It's not the duty of the Christian Council to complete government projects, but we are all Ghanaians, and we are all there are these notable people also have a hand to make sure that the movement or the enhancement of a project or enhancement of the country is their top priority. Let's say for the tithes, for the offertory, for harvest, for dues, whatever, such monies are not limited to church only. Even sometimes they take offertory donations outside the church. Would we also say that is also not their responsibility? So I feel that we are seeking for help, so you can't even allocate a kind of money, say as a dues, this church is supposed to bring this kind of money, this church is supposed to bring this kind of money. But when we all come together as one, yes, a prior way, a single stick of boom, you can break it, but when it comes together, it's difficult for it to break. So when we all come together as one, I believe and I trust that all this uncompleted projects will be completed.
Okay, so to add up to this, we know in every organization there's something we call corporate social responsibility, as in you giving back to the society. So I think with him collaborating with the Christian Council or the religious body, it's a form of the churches also giving back to the society. And I think if they see it as such, that would be a very good idea, but not to see it as a burden. Just like when you go to some bus stops, you see the Pentecostal churches, they have they showed all of that. I think that was a very good initiative. And if the president has taken it upon himself to complete this project by collaborating with the religious bodies, for them to see it as a corporate social responsibility, as in giving back to the society to build hospital in each district, I think that would be okay. Like he said, some churches see this as a peanuts, and then they will do it wholeheartedly without complaining.
And even to think of it, let's look at some established churches. What do they use the offertory, the tithe and other things for? Because they have all the necessary amenities in that church. And obviously when they get the money, it's just lying in the church's coffers, doing nothing. Maybe the only thing they can say is when they are organizing a program. Even when they are organizing a program, they still take money for that program. They do fundraising for that program. So with the money there, I would emphasize on that. It's just a peanut for them, even though it's a very huge amount of money, but it's just a peanut for some churches.
No, let me add up to this. Like you said, you don't know what they use the money for. Most of them actually take care of some of the members, like their schools. If you go to most of the big churches, almost 90 or 50% of students who are in the university, they cater for them. They have school fees, their staff. So you see established church like that, and then maybe you might feel like the money they are taking, they don't use it for anything. But behind the scene, you don't even know what is going on. You might see it from the outlook that like the church is perfect and then everything is intact, but you don't know what is going on. So for me, I feel like those who have stolen from the states, they should be held accountable, and then the money they've taken, they should retrieve, and that money should be used for this project. As simple as that.
Okay, they would be arrested, but I feel that when their focus are just on these people without them considering other factors or other projects, we will lag behind. Because if we are waiting to arrest Keno for Riata, then there's a project, no, you won't do it. So I feel as he has collaborated with these people, it's very good, and they should also, the other aspect of the government should also focus on the corrupt officials.
Okay, so moving on to our next headline, we have NSA accountant Yao Danso in NIB custody over ghost names scandal. Yao Danso, National Service Authority accountant, has been detained by NIB over his alleged involvement in the ghost names payroll scandal, adding to the widening investigation. The National Intelligence Bureau has detained Yao Danso, an accountant at the National Service Authority, in connection with the ghost names payroll scandal that has rocked the institution. His arrest follows that of Kweku Ohene-Jan, the former Deputy Director of Operations at NSA, who was taken into custody on February 22nd, 2025. Gifty Oware Mensah, the former Deputy Executive Director of NSA, also remains on the run as authorities intensify their search for suspects linked to the fraudulent payroll scheme. Yeah, so NIB has Should I? Is it the right word to use arrested?
Yeah.
Has finally arrested the accountant for the National Service Authority, which is Yao Danso, and they have intensified search for anyone who is linked with the fraudulent payroll scheme. Yeah. What do you mean? Is that an improvement in the case?
It is an improvement because considering the fact that this government is trying their possible best to crack down corruption and corrupt officials. I would use Ken Ofori-Atta and President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as an example. Ex-president, I stand to be corrected, ex-president. You see, President Mahama, no, ex-president Nana Addo would be the one to give the directive. But you as the accountant, you are the one bringing out the money. As an accountant, you'll be accountable for every penny that is being asked of you, even though that the CEO of an institution is the one asking for that money. Why didn't they arrest Nana Addo, but rather they want to arrest Ken Ofori-Atta? So they should tell you something. So with this, NSA, the accountant is being arrested. Obede matching. Because this ghost names, you can just imagine if each person is taking 1,000 amount of cedis. Just imagine over, well, how much was it? 81,000.
Yeah, 81,000.
And it also boils down to what we are facing currently, because the economy in Kasa is not stable data, and you are just paying money to people who doesn't even exist.
Some were Kenyans.
How can a Kenyan come? Kenya, a Kenya bearing a Ghanaian name.
Yeah.
Seriously. Let's not let me continue. I'll come back.
I see it to be them using the accountant they've arrested. Like, I see it to be a deterrent
to others,
or they should use it as an scapegoat to others. It's very sad because when the report came out, I found out that one person's name appeared more than 20 times, and the person was receiving money. Like my name, Adosu de Brown on the list, and then
do you think
my name
the money was going to that person or to
not to that person account, but it's like they are using my name as a care of.
Okay.
To gain what they want.
Yeah.
And so the name appeared, like one person's name appeared like 20 or 30 times on a list, and the person is taking money every month. It is the national service own that has been made open, and then we know it happens in other institutions. When you go to the institutions, people that do not even exist, people that do not exist in the working in that particular organization receives money each and every month. You will go and then they'll tell you that the company is occupied. They are not people, but the people there too, they are few. This one we are even talking about, they need someone maybe to help in something, but no, they wouldn't employ anybody because they want to be enjoying the money alone. And it has really cost the state a lot of money. Like the states have run a loss because of this. That's why I said it is not only with the NSS, it's happening in other organizations. And I feel like, there should be a thorough investigation into other institutions as well to fish out ghost names that are on payroll. Because somewhere last year, was it George Akufo Dampare? He was the one he said in Northern region, there is an institution there that was notified that government workers were paid. Some people were on the payroll that were paid monthly, but they do not exist in the company, and it's very bad. You see, we are our own problem ourselves. Someone do not exist, the person do not work in the company, you are paying the person, and we are the same people that are complaining that nothing is going on well, the economy is hard, the government is doing this, not knowing the government is paying, and then it's going into one person's pocket. One person is enjoying it and the rest are suffering. And then you know what they do? because they want to enjoy the money, they push their people there. So when you come with the qualification, they will look at you and tell you that you are not qualified. And then they bring people there that they can work or relate with the person and make sure that what I'm doing is better you follow me or I sack you. And then they are embezzling state money. And we are here, we are crying, innocent souls who are working diligently for the government are not, I mean, even what they are taking a month is a peanut. Why would she run? If I feel like I've done the right thing, I should stay so that I'll be interrogated if I know very, 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 very well. Why should you run? Even when you look at the woman, she looks like man in a woman. So this kind of person, if no one should tell me that she can do that, she can do more than that. It's sad. It's very sad to see this happening. Ghost names that do not exist, taking money every month. So imagine, let's say 30 people in this company. 30 people do not exist, but they are taking money every month. And let's just imagine that each person is taking about 5,000 a month, and then there are 30 ghost names in the company that do not exist, and one person. And you want this catch
without any productivity.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
Wait, don't continue. Wait, what you said about her name, Gifty Oware Mensah, Deputy Executive of NSA. Why would she run? Because she's guilty. Because I don't see the need why you will run if you are truly innocent. And also, it's high time when a government official either resigns or is being out of power. I feel there should be a time frame where you would still be in the country. You didn't have the access to travel. Your visa should, your passport or whatever should be taken away from you until investigations or whatever is being done, until you're accountable for what you did during your power. Okay, they are cutting me off.
Thank you for your submission. I think I'm excited about this improvement in the case. At least we are hoping that the issue is not going to die off. All those that were involved in this activity, in this fraudulence, should be brought to book. And I think that's some kind of transparency.
Yeah, before you continue, I remember last 2 years, a teacher mistakenly chopped government money. If let's say his salary is 5,000 cedis, he was paid double, and he thought it's either salary increment or whatever. He chopped the money. Now he was arraigned for court, and the verdict passed was for him to pay that money. So if just a common Ghanaian citizen is going through this, and these people sit in power, chop the money, and they are not accountable for it, then it means that Ghana itself is a lawless country.
We are just hoping for the best for the outcome of this case. So let's move on to our next headline, which is Professor Opoku Ajiman urges Council of State to be proactive. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajima has called on the Council of State to be an effective and accountable advisory body to contribute to the resetting of Ghana agenda. Speaking at the first official engagement with the Council of State during an orientation for its members, she urged the members to be active in their role rather than a passive one. According to the Vice President, a proactive advisory body will aid in dispelling unfounded claims questioning the existence of the Council of State. So we all know the role of the Council of State, right? They are an official board that advise the president and contributes to the well-being of the nation. So His Excellency, the Vice President, is urging all Council of State members to be active and be an accountable advisory body to contribute to the resetting of Ghana agenda. What do you make of that, Ms. Regina?
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to outline some of the functions of the Council of State. So first of all, it counsels the president and various arms of government on all matters of national interest, and also consider nominations for appointment by His Excellency the President to governing boards and other state institutions. May consider and input into bills before Parliament. Regular engagement with key public officials on policy management and operational matters. Promotes linkages, coordination, and synergy among sector ministries, departments, agencies through advice to political and other heads of public sector institutions. Examine and monitor implementation of policies and programs of government and alert relevant officials on weaknesses, threats, and opportunities for appropriate action. So these are the functions of the Council of States. So as I said, these are the functions of the Council of State. So I agree 100% with our Vice President, Prof. Nana Opoku Agyemang. They should be proactive. They themselves have come out to say that they are not a bunch of yes people. They are not a bunch of yes sir. They shouldn't be influenced by certain people. They shouldn't even be influenced by the president himself. They should, if your yes is your yes should be your yes. You shouldn't have an alternative. When you make a decision, make sure you go by that decision. We would also know that you people are really relevant and active to Ghana and also to the president. Yeah.
Okay, so let me read some comments from our YouTube page. This is coming from Joseph Tete. He says the government should even raise this fund from only churches. They don't pay taxes, but they take offerings in dollars, etc. The church has nothing to offer to the country. He then again comes and says that, so where are those bars of gold found and money in containers? Ghana, with our resources, we still borrow money. So he's saying that the church is not paying taxes, and some people pay offertory in dollars. So they should leave it for the church to complete the agenda 111 alone. In his words, that is what he's saying. Do you agree with him?
100% agree.
Okay, so
50%.
What is 50%? What do you disagree?
50%.
That will be a discussion for another day. But right now, let's move on to our last newspaper headline. Odogono SHS students protest malfunctioning street lights. Students of Odogono Senior High School in Accra took to the street on Monday, February 24th, to protest faulty traffic lights and street lights near their school, citing safety concerns. The students lament that the malfunctioning signals have already led to the death of staff, and they fear more lives could be at risk if urgent action is not taken. Their demonstration briefly distracted traffic along the stretch. According to the students, vehicles speed past the school's entrance due to non-functional traffic lights, resulting in multiple near-miss accidents. Some of the protesting students called on authorities to act swiftly to prevent further casualties. So this is something that happened just yesterday, and I don't know if you've seen the video trending on social media, especially on our page GhanaTalks Radio, on TikTok, on Facebook, and then on Instagram. Once you type in at GhanaTalks Radio, you will see the video, and I think that has caught a lot of attention to most of our audience and most of our viewers. And these students have come out to protest more functioning street lights and then traffic lights at the core front of their school. What do you make of it?
All right, so I don't know why as a country we need to wait for things to deteriorate before action is being taken, for things to get worse, for lives to get lost before things are being put in place. Let me use just Awush School Junction, for example. A lot of people died, and with say I'm not saying say a home puyo, but when you look at Awush School Junction, it's very dangerous because one is coming from this side, one is coming from this side, the other is also coming from in front, at the back, like everywhere, center, corner, everywhere.
That's a high street. I mean,
Ubab.
Yeah.
And school children also pass there each and every time. Lives got lost. Demonstrations were being held before governments took it upon themselves to make sure that this more functioning traffic light is being worked on. Yesterday when I was going home, I heard one Ghanaian passing a comment. Why should, I don't know if the traffic light is an electricity, I don't know if it deals with electricity. It does. Yeah. She was like, why should even the traffic light be an electricity something? It should be solar. That is the comments which a concerned Ghanaian citizen passed. And even with Awush, Abrantie, Station, Banyard, and also Odogono, a lot of lives have been lost. And when you hear the stories around which this young man died, he was hit by a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, yo. Just a minute, another car on his head. It's serious.
Yeah.
Very serious. I bet they should close it forever and ever.
And where will the cars pass?
And it's alarming how the drivers themselves are not even concerned about this, because they don't want to be in traffic. They don't want to stop for people to pass. So all they know is to be passing. Sometimes in the morning, even if I'm crossing at just last stop, it's dangerous. Even yesterday, Debbie and I, we almost got hit by 2 cars when we were crossing and when we were coming back, by 2 cars. So just imagine, because traffic light is not working, and the next thing you hear is Namin Pengu or Himachimo then this is dead just because traffic light is not working in Ghana, but huge sums of money are being chopped, squandered. Oh God. It's sad.
Miss Debbie, what do you have to say to this?
The traffic light is equally important, just like the way we construct roads and pay attention to other things in the country. But to me, it seems like we always want to wait for something to happen before we take action, even when it has to do with road or maybe constructing a footbridge for people. Yeah. Even if there is a footbridge on that lane, or Dogono, whatever the lane, it will be possible, because students, you see people who are blind and people who are crossing the street, and then you have to walk. Sometimes you want to cross the road and you are late, but you can wait for almost an hour and then you still can't cross, because the speed at which the drivers are riding at, and with the traffic light not working, it's very bad. You can wait, because when you try, you either lost your life, and the driver will not even wait to like see whether you are hurt or something, because they also fear for their life. Definitely when you are being caught, you'll be arrested. You'll be arrested. Yeah. So they don't even wait. Immediately the person knocks you down with the vehicle, he moves on. And this is something that we have to take seriously, just like the way we take borrowing so seriously in this country, that we cannot even sit a second without thinking for the help of the IMF. We should do the same to petty things like this. Okay. I think maybe they want 1,000 people to die before they will take an action.
But don't you think, with regards to these kind of, I wouldn't say it's a petty issue, but with these issues we find in in our community, such as the street lights and then traffic light, don't you think
our
MP and then assemblyman are not also playing their role there? Because I believe that is the responsibility of the assemblyman to identify the problems in our community. Then they take it to the MP, and then if the MP has to take it to Parliament for them to find a way to solve that issue, that needs to be done. But here lies the case: we don't even know the roles of our assemblymen.
You see,
and women.
The last time I said journalists are not only journalists who go to school. Journalists are also just a normal Ghanaian, just walking by the roadside. Yeah, you see something which is getting wrong, you take a video of it, you tag the ministry in charge of it. And the last time I remember, I made a highlight on our ministries also. I believe they all have social media handles, and day in and day out, people are tagging you for a specific issue, but these people just turn a blind eye to issues. This thing, the person who got hit could be avoided. It is a situation which could be avoided big time. As Sister Debbie said, the driver would even wait to make sure you are okay. Because because they don't even want to bear the cost of those expenses. So as she said, you don't want to say petty, but it is petty. These are just minor something which could be avoided.
So we are urging our assemblymen and women to be on the grounds to identify some issues members of the community are facing and do everything in their power to rectify those issues. Thank you so much. This is where we draw the curtains for our news headline review. Thank you so much, my panelists. Thank you for doing the listening. Thank you. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Good morning and welcome to Debbie's Grill, where issues of state concerns are critically analyzed, devoid of fear, favor, and politics. My name is Deborah Adoso. I think what I want to say today, they've said it, but I'll still hit on it because it's very, very important to me. And I know it will be very, very important to you because this is a matter of life and death. Who monitors our traffic light? I know the traffic light is there to bring sanity on our street, to prevent congestion and road crashes. But then I also know that it is the responsibility of someone to ensure that the traffic light is working effectively. It is the responsibility of someone to come around, maybe in a month or in a week, like consistently, to ensure that the traffic light is functioning properly. But for me, it looks as if no one cares. It looks as if they are not doing their best. It looks as if they are not actually doing anything, because it's not only in this area. I've noticed a couple of places in Ghana, in Greater Accra specifically, where traffic lights are not working properly, and have caused the life of so many people. Now, this traffic light issue we are talking about, a particular incident that took place last week, which led to the demonstration of Odogonal Senior High School because one of their security personnel is involved in it or has been knocked down by a vehicle. This is an issue that we don't even need to come out and be talking, drumming and making noise on this before an action should be taken. The traffic light helps a lot because students cross the road. In fact, everybody crosses the road, even the blind crosses the road. And when you go to Odogono, you'll be surprised. You just come for a tour and you see the way vehicles are running on high speed, and then you see sometimes students at the age of 4 years walking alone, crossing the street, no one to help them. And these children have to cross the street to school, and then they'll cross it back home. But if the traffic light was to be functioning properly, there will be order. Because even in the school, we were taught that when it's red, you wait. When it's yellow, you get ready. When it's green, you crosses the street. But here lies the case that the traffic isn't working. And you see, the Urban Road Department under the Ministry of Roads and Highway made a report that was in 2023, that some of these things, or some of the things that led to the traffic lights not functioning properly, is because the cables and things are being stolen. The cables and stuff that are used for the traffic light are stolen. But this is a case where I'm not sure the cables are stolen, because when you get there, everything is intact. You can actually see all this thing there. I'm pretty sure that there will be some issue with, maybe when it comes to the connection of the traffic light or the wiring or something that needs to be checked. And they come to think of it, why will you go to steal a traffic light cables? And it has become something that we've normalized in this country. But trust me, with this particular traffic light issue we are talking about, it's a very serious one. This is a death trap. The traffic light now at Odogono, from Odogono to Awoshi, it's now a death trap. And a man of 30, the man will be somewhere 50 or in his 60. Yesterday, talking to one of the security man, he was like, the man has worked there for over 30 years. And you could see the pain the man is talking with. You could feel that kind of pain. Because it's like this man has been working here for 30 years. He goes and comes just a day. Because of a malfunctioning traffic light, he's gone. So we have to wait in the country where things are going bad. We have to come out and be talking and be hitting, saying things, shouting. You have to come and do it all before we do it. You just sit down and analyze it. Does it speak well of us as a country? That we have to sit for souls to be lost, for citizens to die, to keep on dying, so that we'll come here and be making noise. Please, you have to do your work, we have to tell you to do your work before you do. So this one too, we should come and be telling you to do your work. The Ministry of Roads and Highways, I know that there are in divisions, because we have the MTTD. They also have their role to play. They are supposed to even be monitoring all this traffic lights and stuffs, but we don't even see them. And traffic light, this is a highway we are talking about, and it looks as if, and I know that definitely, I wouldn't say that most of our ministers don't pass on this stretch. Even if 99% of them don't pass on this stretch, at least 1%. Even if the minister do not pass on that stretch, the member of parliament for the constituency doesn't know that something like this is going on. And then when you come out to sit here to talk, they'll be like, you are hitting on us too much. We don't. No. Our work is to say the truth just as it is. We hit on it because you are not doing your duty. And then we tell, since it feels as if you don't know what you are doing, we will now tell you what to do. Because we cannot sit down mute and then people are dying. We cannot just keep our mouth shut and then with our hands crossed like this and sit down and then be looking at people dying just like that. Yesterday when we got there, we saw a cripple man on a wheelchair wanting to cross the road. He was so helpless, vulnerable, finding it very difficult. Because looking at, even we have legs, our legs were very intact. Crossing the street yesterday, we nearly got knocked by 2 vehicles. Even with that one, we were very careful with that. Because I was looking at the right side, my colleague was also looking at the left side. We were all looking to be sure that no vehicle is coming. There. It took just a single THE. Like by now, we don't even know what would have happened. But God forbid, and we are also thanking God that nothing happened yesterday. But should we sit down till more people die? A lot of people has already gone. A lot of people has already died. And then the street light is still the same. And nothing is going on. No one is saying anything. We are all quiet. And if you see the way the students, the demonstration they did, like you actually feel their pain. It's so painful, very, very painful. That we live in a country where something is going bad, we don't know. I don't know whether we don't know or it's because we don't identify it, or we identified it and we've just made up our mind that we don't care, that we are not going to fix it, we are not going to do it, and then we just sit down quietly. MTTD, you have a role to play, a lot to do, a whole lot to do. The street light at Odogono has become a death trap, a serious death trap, of course. You see, when you are there and you are listening to it, you feel like it's something very common. When you get there and you want to cross the street, you understand what I'm trying to say here. You understand it. With the speed vehicle, running up and down 24/7. And some of these children, their parents do not even have time to help them cross the street. They dress them and then they leave them to go. And so when they get to the street, they are now vulnerable because they don't even know how to cross. And that street light, according to the information we've gathered, have been there for 4 good years. It has not been functioning for 4 good years. That was why I was saying that, is it that we don't know, or we knew that something like that was there or was happening, and then we've decided not to just pay attention to it. We've decided not to just care because they are not my family member. Yes, we are not your family member, but at least we are citizens of this country. And just like the traffic light standing there is not for the government or the president, it's for all of us. And I'm pretty sure that if the traffic light has no essence, it won't be mounted there. And as I said, the traffic light is mounted there because it's to reduce congestion, and then to make sure that road accidents are being kept or minimized, because the rate at which people are dying of late when it comes to road crashes and stuff, some of these things are situated to faulty traffic lights. And sometimes you get confused, especially when the road is in a form where from the right and the left side there is a road, from behind you and in front of you there is another outer lane and inner lane that has to do with, say, 4 square. Then you get confused, and sometimes some of these drivers they utterly get confused. Makati Junction, the traffic light isn't bad, but this has drawn my attention. Anytime there is light out, go to Makati Junction and see what is going on there. I know sometimes they deploy police to go and then make sure that the vehicle are passing in a normal flow, and then sometimes they ensure that everything is on point and then people have to cross and stuff. But anytime there is light out, you don't even see one police officer. And then you see the vehicles, I've noticed that for almost 3 times now. Everyone is confused. A vehicle is coming from this side, a vehicle is coming from this side. One time, let me just say, it took the grace of God. 3 vehicles nearly crashed. And I feel that is the time when we should have someone who will be conducting, not when broad daylight that the street light is working, even though you have to do it. But I feel like when there is light out, that's when maybe some of the policemen should be available. Because when it happens like that, most of the drivers, they are confused, because he's in hurry to go home. The one coming this side is also in hurry to go home. The other 2 are also in hurry to go home. And so this wants to pass, the other one wants to pass, and then it brings confusion. And you see, when you are driving, it needs focused and full attention. But in a case where you yourself, you are confused because you don't know whether you passed, because as you are passing, a different vehicle might even cross your path. When it's light out, Makati Junction, very, very bad. Very, very bad. I can stand there and be looking, I'll be like, wow. And you'll not even see one police officer, not even one, to direct. No. And so if you're not very skillful, you will end up in danger. Our lives are very important, and the traffic light is also very important, because if the traffic light has no benefit, if the traffic light wouldn't benefit the citizens when it comes to the road, or when it comes to issues of the road, crossing the roads and stuff, then I'm not sure it will be mounted there. And it's mounted there for a reason, and it has to function. And so that traffic light at Odopono needs to be fixed now, not tomorrow, next, not next month or next year. It needs to be fixed now. We cannot continue to be losing innocent lives. Thank you for making time with me.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you so much, Debbie. That was Debbie's girl on who monitors our traffic light. Well, I can't wait to know what happened in today in history. And did you know? I want to learn more and I want to know more. So up next, we have Did You Know? And today in history was Miss Regina Bless.
Okay, thank you very much. So without wasting much time, welcome to Today in History and Did You Know with Miss Regina Bliss. So today in history, 1601, Robert Devereux, English 2nd Earl of Essex, executed for treason against the crown of England. In 1601, he led an abortive coup d'etat against the government of Elizabeth I and was executed for treason. Today in history, 1994, Jewish settler kills 30 at holy sites. A Jewish settler has killed up to 30 Palestinians at a mosque in Hebron after opening fire as people gathered for Friday morning prayers. US-born Dr. Burak Goldstein, 38, burst into the mosque in the Machpelah cave and fired up to 100 bullets at worshippers, according to state TV reports. 1643 today in history, Pavonia Massacre. On the evening of 25th February 1643, soldiers and settlers of the colony of New Netherland massacred a large number of Native American men, women, and children belonging to Montee nations on and around Manhattan. The victims were surprised in their sleep. They had assumed they were safe because they had recently sought shelter near New Amsterdam from indigenous enemies. Dutch sources indicate that at least 80 and perhaps up to 120 Montees were murdered. 1751, today in history, the first performing monkey was exhibited in America in New York City. For 1 cent, people could watch Manny the monkey play a musical instrument, ride a goat while wearing a clown costume, and hit people with a bladder tied to a stick while smoking cigarettes given to him by the crowd. Moving to Did You Know? Did you know that honey is the only natural food which never spoils? Honey has been called the only food that truly lasts forever, thanks to its magical chemistry and the handiwork of bees. The nectar from flowers mixes with enzymes inside the bees that extract it, which changes the nectar's composition and breaks it down into small sugars that are deposited into honeycombs. Did you know that if you eat 2 celery sticks worth 12 calories, you will burn a grand total of 2 of those calories to chew and digest that celery, which leaves you with a net positive of 10 calories. Chewing and digestion takes a lot less energy than people think. Did you also know that the longest street in the world is Yonge Street in Toronto, Canada, measuring 1,896 kilometers? Until 1999, the Guinness Book of World Records repeated the popular misconception that Yonge Street was 1,896 kilometers, that is 1,178 mi long, making it the longest street in the world. This was due to a conflation of Yonge Street with the rest of Ontario's Highway 11. To our last did you know for today, did you know that a giraffe can clean its own ears with this 21-inch tongue? While with such a long tongue, the giraffe has learned to make good use of its tongue by cleaning its ears out. Did you also know that the giraffe also uses the same tongue it uses to clean its ears to clean its nose also? This is where we end today's Did You Know and Today in History live on Ghana Talks Radio. Join me same time for same fascinating fact.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for that insightful message and education. So today I get to know that giraffe clean their nose and ears, right, with their tongue.
Yeah.
And their tongue that long?
Yeah, very long.
It's possible.
It reaches to the ears and the nose. Ew, very disgusting.
And they use that same tongue to eat. Well, they are not like we human beings, so they eat anything and they eat anywhere. They are not like us, right? Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. So with regards to the street light here, street light and then more functioning traffic lights, don't you think it's the duty of the assemblyman to communicate that to the MP? Then the MP has to take it to the opinion leaders up there to sort out that issue. Don't you think?
Yeah. I'll cite an example with our school. Obviously, we all went to SHS or either JHS. We have the class prefect. From the class prefect to the school prefect, from the school prefect to the headmistress, from the headmistress to the either proprietor or proprietress. So with this sequence,
it's more or less like a hierarchy.
A pyramid of that sort. So the CEO or the president wouldn't just wake up and see whatever that is going on. So when I have an issue, I talk to the class prefects. The class prefect then conveys the message, the information, then it's going. So it's get to the top authority. So as he said, the assemblyman, he's common, he's just like all of us, but he also have a duty to play. That is why he was elected and voted for as an assemblyman. The MP who is sitting in parliament, he is sitting there he's representing us, the people, the constituency. So he's sitting there representing us. What is he presenting to parliament? What is he presenting to Speaker of Parliament? Nothing. Obviously, the assemblyman is not doing what he or she is supposed to do. So if the assemblyman sees these petty things, the potholes, the roads are not working well, the traffic lights are not working well, street lights are not working well, it is the duty, it is your mandatory duty to convey this information to the MP. The MP conveys. So with all this that is happening, we would just blame the assemblyman, even though we have to blame the government, but we will also blame the assemblyman. Or I'm lying?
I feel like the assemblyman has a role to do, but what about the motor traffic and transport department?
Yeah, true.
Yes, because they are supposed to monitor and ensure that sport traffic lights are being maintained.
So I think this will go to the road safety.
Yes.
And
Because
still
even,
the assemblyman.
I know the assemblyman, but the assemblyman do not have the sole power to do that.
So it means the assemblyman or MP also do not have the sole power to make sure our roads are being constructed.
The assemblyman.
Yes.
Assemblyman do not construct roads.
But he
so
has
they convey the information
yes.
to the MP, then they voice it out in Parliament.
He has a role to play, but when it's, I know he has a role to play, but for me, when
so
it's
the assemblyman
things,
is more or less like a mediator between the
I know.
community and then the MP.
I know.
You get me?
But then when it comes to road, MTTD, I feel they should be doing this.
And with the when it comes to the road, also that is the road highway
Ministry of Road Highways. They also have a road to, and then the urban roads also. They are all, and
when
they constitute to everything that has to do with road issues and stuff.
And so when we say that every ministry has its own sector, every ministry has its own role to play, then it means we just
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That will be all for our newspaper review. You can join us same time tomorrow at 7 a.m. So right after news, we have discussion on the breakfast show. Do well to join us. Please stick and stay.
Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Daybreak News on GhanaTalks Radio. Coming up this morning, I will tackle bureaucratic bottlenecks in public sector at Kanvarba. I will support policy direction of Free Senior High School, Nyako Ampem. In other stories, education stakeholders advocate for religious tolerance in senior high schools. And Agenda 111, Mahama estimates $1.7 billion needed to complete hospitals. This business, sports and showbiz is coming in this morning's bulletin. The news will be read by Awintemi Akansukum. Now, the details. The Minister of State Designate for Public Sector Reforms, Lydia Akanvarba, has pledged to address long-standing bureaucratic challenges that hinder efficiency in the public sector. Speaking during her vetting by the Parliament's Appointments Committee on Monday, February 24th, Akanvarba emphasized the need for innovative approaches to streamline processes and improve service delivery. She stressed that reforming the sector will require engagement with public servants to help them understand the need for transformation. She indicated, I have learned and I have been through the public sector for about 27 years, and I know that there are some in the public sector who say Mimba Hache or MBA, to which I've been there for a very long time. They believe that you should do things as they want you to, and these are bureaucracy. We should be able to use innovative ways to let them understand what you want to do in your ministry. She stated this, she said, will be done by utilizing technology and other digital platforms to tackle the bureaucratic processes in the ministry. The Deputy Minister Designate for Finance, Thomas Nyako Ampem, has reaffirmed this commitment to supporting the Free Senior High School policy, emphasizing that there are no plans to cancel the program. Speaking during his vetting before Parliament's Appointments Committee Monday, the Sujaman MP said he will do everything in his power to assist the Minister of Finance, Dr. Kaisa Latufo Singh, to secure adequate funding to support the implementation of of the policy. Nyako Ampem further clarified that his concerns about Free Senior High School are not related to its funding, but rather its implementation. If I have any concern about Free Senior High School, it is not about the funding, it's rather the implementation. The Deputy Minister Designate's remarks comes in the wake of the ongoing National Education Forum being held nationwide. The initiative, aimed at gathering views and ideas for the effective implementation of Ghanaian educational policies, were launched by President John Dramani Mahama on February 18, 2025. Still on education, senior high school heads in the northeast, and Savannah regions have called for structured programs to promote interreligious coexistence among students to curb violence in second cycle institutions. Their appeal follows a 3-day training workshop in Tamale organized by the Senate Institute, aimed at equipping school managers and duty bearers with the skills and competences to address religious tensions and conflicts within educational institutions. Speaking at the event February 20, Linda Tomderi, headmistress of Gambaga Senior High School, noted that religious misunderstanding contributes to tension in schools, emphasizing the need for proactive measures to educate students on peaceful coexistence. When students understand and respect each other's religious belief, it minimizes conflict and fosters a more inclusive learning environment, she stated, adding that the training organized by the Senate Institute was a crucial step in achieving this goal. In an interview with Channel 1 News, Professor John Azuma, founding executive director of the Senate Institute, called for a standardized policy to ensure uniformity and fairness in religious observances within schools, preventing discrimination based on religious identity. The Senate Institute is advocating for the development of clear policy guidelines on religious practices in schools across the country. Professor Azuma further highlighted findings that indicate some students face discrimination due to their religious beliefs, negatively impacting their emotional well-being and academic performance. Some students, particularly those in schools affiliated with a different faith, experience emotional distress that affect their overall well-being and education, he noted. The Senate Institute emphasized that building a culture of religious tolerance in schools is key to fostering a peaceful and harmonious society in the future. They urge school authorities and policymakers to support initiatives that bridge religious divide and promote mutual understanding amongst students. President John Mahama says his administration will require $1.7 billion to complete all unfinished Agenda 111 hospital projects. He said this at a meeting with the Christian Council, adding that some of the few completed ones lack the needed infrastructure to operate. During the gathering, he revealed that nearly 90 of the hospitals initiated under the previous government remains incomplete. The previous government started Agenda 111 but has not been able to finish the hospitals. There are so many of them unfinished, even the ones they commissioned don't have a single bed. President Mahama suggested that religious organizations collaborate to support the completion of some of these stalled projects. The president also proposed that if some of the missions are interested, they could finish some of the hospitals and manage them. The president assured his commitment to completing the project to improve the health care of Ghanaians. Now to some business, Deputy Finance Minister nominee Thomas Nyako Ampem has called for a non-partisan approach to discussions surrounding the Domestic Debt Exchange Program (DDEP) payment. Speaking during his vetting before the Appointments Committee of Parliament Monday, he emphasized the importance of focusing on the positive impact of the payment provisions rather than politicizing the development. He highlighted that provisions have been made for DDEP payment, reassuring investors and stakeholders of the government's commitment to honoring its obligations. According to him, this move would boost investor confidence and stabilize Ghana's financial sector. AMPEM further noted that the timely fulfillment of DDEP payment would enhance market trust in Ghana's economic recovery efforts. The Ministry of Finance has fulfilled the payment in cash PIC coupon of 6.081 billion cedis to all DDEP bondholders as of February 17, 2025. Additionally, the payment in kind PIK portion of 3,000 and that's 3.46 billion cedis has been deposited into bondholder securities accounts in accordance with the DDEP memorandum. The Mahama administration has also started a build-up of the debit service recovery CD account with a payment of 9.7 billion cedis as a buffer for the 5th domestic debt exchange program due in July and August 2025. To some sports, Mediama Sporting Club head coach Ibrahim Tanko has apologized to fans of the club after his side got eliminated from the 2024-2025 MTN FA Cup. The Mauve and Yellow lost 4-2 on penalties to Lower Thai side Park Academy at home after the round of 16 stage game ended 1-1 after regulation time. Park Academy progressed to the quarter-final stage after completing the Giants killing feat against the former FA Cup champions, and recently appointed head coach Tanko expressed his disappointment over the loss and apologized to the club's fans for it. Park Academy Shaibu Faisal's goal in the 8th minute cancelled out Mediama strike in the 5th minute in a furious start to the game. Mediama was one of the 3 Ghana Premier League teams to lose shockingly to lower tier league teams. That's Accra Hearts of Oak lost on penalties to Golden Cake. Now straight to some showbiz. Ghanaian rapper and entrepreneur Ochame Kwame has endorsed King Paluta as Artist of the Year. In a Facebook post, Ochame Kwame wrote, "Artist of the Year, signed, sealed, delivered," and he is wearing the love equation of OK Medase. Although he didn't add any award scheme to the post, it has stoked conversation about who deserves to win the Artist of the Year slot in the forthcoming Telesol Ghana Music Award. Some people have argued that King Paluta's visibility and hard work in the year and the review towards over any other musician in Ghana. Their argument is premised on the fact that he released about 3 smash hit songs, Aseda, Makoma, Pop Champagne, an album, and appeared on many high-profile concerts in Ghana and abroad. Meanwhile, a section of music lovers are also rooting for King Paluta, who was a huge contender for the slots last year. And that's it with the Daybreak News on Ghana Talks Radio. Log on to www.ghanatalksradio.com for more of these stories. The news was read by Awentemi Akansukum. I say thanks so much for making time. Good morning.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. DJ Cha. We are GTR, Ghana Talks Radio.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast? English breakfast. French fry.
Koko Nikosi. Alo Komi Kesheto. Wachi.
Well, Gobe is the real deal. Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sport, and all trending stories live on our mobile app, and also follow us on our socials at Ghana Talks Radio.
From Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. with me, Pakwesi Obare.
Deborah Adolso, Regina Bliss,
and I am Esinom. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, #1.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm Mr. Level Bam. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you a singer and now you a rapper, you think say you get bars. You go fit spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio and yes say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app no our Play Store and the App Store. Not tune in and say this what you see baba live on Facebook, ko Instagram, any Ghana Talks Radio page and this now listen. E be your fire. 1 year, Konya, wading. Jajan.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. Rocking the nation.
Good morning and welcome to Ghana Talks Breakfast Show on Ghana Talks Radio. This is Pakwesi Omare, and in the studios with me I have my always ever beautiful co-hostess AC Nam. Always laughing and smiling.
Always good. It relaxes your facial muscles.
It relaxes your facial muscles.
Yeah.
That is one health tip from Dr. Isina. And today we have a surprise guest on the show with us, an in-house guest, Miss Debbie. She just finished grilling some people in society and government. Debbie.
Hello.
How has it been?
Great, but we are still on course.
We are still on course. I like your grilling. Oh.
Thank you.
I have some issues with this I'll give it to you one of these days.
Okay.
So that,
You want her to grill me.
So you are welcome to Ghana Talks Breakfast Show on Ghana Talks Radio this morning. Join the conversation on all our social media handles at Ghana Talks Radio. Don't forget to use the hashtag Ghana Talks BFS. Hashtag Ghana Talks BFS. You can also join through our WhatsApp line 0202 544 614. 0202 544 614, and also our website www.GhanaTalksRadio. This morning we have some discussions and matters that needs to be addressed as extremely as possible.
Yeah.
And one of these matters is drugs, abuse of drugs, especially in the youth, not just in Ghana but in Africa as a whole.
Yeah.
And we will be going on the phones to talk to Dr. Benjamin Bequin very soon. Yeah. But I mean, drug abuse. Who was the first person to ever realize that this drug, if I take it, it will?
I think you have to ask the scientists.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have, because they go to the laboratory, test it, and they know when you take this specific medicine, it's going to heal your stomach pain. When you take this specific, a mixture of this specific chemicals, it's going to heal your headache. When you take this, it's going to heal your diabetes and all of that. So I think the scientists will be the best people for us to ask this question.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doctors as well, but the scientists go into the laboratory.
Yeah.
The doctors, they take the info from the scientists. You get me? So I believe, in my own opinion, I believe the scientists will be the best.
The best people
we ask.
Yeah. What course did you study in school, Lacey?
As in SHS or uni?
SHS.
Oh, I did general arts.
Ah.
Why? Why you asking?
I told you did biology and chemistry.
Oh no! I was running away.
You would
from
have
that.
been a suspect.
Same thing.
Yeah. So we will be going on the lines with Dr. Benjamin Bequin very soon. He's with us on the phone lines. Hello, Doc. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Doc. Hello, Doc. Can you hear me, sir? Hello, good morning. We are having a few challenges with Dr. Benjamin on the phone, but we will get in touch with him very soon.
Right.
And then yes. So, youth in drugs. Hello, Doc. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. We'll get back with Dr. Benjamin Bequin very soon. He is actually a doctor at the Wejagbawe Municipal Hospital. He is ready and willing to talk to us about a few things related to drugs and what constitutes its abuse and all that we find ourselves troubling with in society. Hello, Doc. Good morning, Doc. We welcome you to Ghana Talks Breakfast Show on Ghana Talks Radio this morning.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, how has it been?
Well, I think it's been good to wake up every morning, and by the grace of God, you are up and running. In Ghana, so you have to be very good every morning.
Sure. So we know you are a very busy man. We thank you for honoring our request to speak to us on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show this morning. With that said, let me be very quick with you so you attend to some few patients waiting in line. Now, Doc, youth in drugs. Drugs has become, the abuse of drugs has become a relentless problem in society now, especially in the Ghanaian society. We experience some drugs, tramadol and this and that, which we thought were supposed to be dealing with pains and all. Now we see it as a canker in society. Some pharmacies don't even sell it to you without prescription and so many protocols. What constitutes this drug abuse in society, sir?
Okay, thank you so much. And once again, I want to say good morning to all your listeners today. So I believe that using drugs has become a very pertinent global issue, especially in West Africa. And first of all, if you want to talk about drugs, we keep making reference to the fact that we are using drugs. Some people even get a bit confused with respect to medications and all that. So I feel that in appreciating what drugs is, you can say that drugs itself is something, is in form of a chemical substance that has been formulated, to help relieve symptoms of a disease or something that it's an abnormal in nature. And appreciating the context of drugs, we have some that are more of prescription only. So we tell you that when you come to the hospital, there are some specific medications that you need a doctor or a physician to prescribe that for you, so you can get it with respect to treating your illness. And we have some over-the-counter ones, and we have some that are illegal, or some are even used for recreational. So I believe our context of discussion is around the illegal and recreational drugs. Examples like the heroin, the cocaine, the alcohol, the cannabis, what popularly we call weed or the herbs, and tramadol and the likes.
Yes, sir.
So I believe that some of these medications or these drugs have lost their significance or their mainly directed purpose of use.
Okay.
And now people have, or most of the young people have kind of found an interesting way of using those medications for achieving other sort of relief.
Wow.
Let me put it that way. Yeah.
Wow. So what are some of these common drugs that we see being abused in society?
So, yes. So I believe that in the society these days, you have young people coming in and they're either on morphine, which is more of an injection drug, because it's not usually common in tablets. So they end up coming around, or they go to some pharmacies in quotes, or some over-the-counter shops, and they get in morphine or they get in heroin. They are sold in ampoules. And we all have the common one, tramadol, where people will come in, and you know that it's unfortunate that some of these medications are directed for use as pain medications. So a younger person will come in and he tells you that I have severe pain, and that as a prescriber you look at giving the person a very stronger pain relief, not knowing that the person is now looking at the add-on effects of these drugs. So most of the time you realize that these medications or these drugs that are often abused have their bent on directives or use. However, once the person has been exposed to it and they get the extra pyramidal effect or the extra effect that is associated with the use of these drugs, you realize that they now get bent on using them often. So we have the morphines, we have the tramadol, we have the heroin, we have codeine, we have cocaine, we have nicotine, which is what we call mostly tobacco. We have the cannabis or weed, and alcohol. So alcohol is also a drug. And
Wow.
It's actually something that we need to take, because we realize most of these young people are bent on using most of these drugs.
Sure. So, Doc, what are some of the things that you believe leads one into drug abuse?
So I believe that in this common dispensation, some people, or most of the young people, are influenced by their peers. So what we call peer pressure, and some of them are even curiosity. And not until somewhere last year, I heard about a new trend, which they call Gen Z. So the Gen Zs are trying to tell you that they're on top of the world, they're on top of their game. They are the ones who are controlling or they're ruling the system. So a younger person sees his friend who is now exposed to the use of herbs or the use of some specific drugs, and they tell you, "Oh, Charlie, as for this drug, when I take it, my body is fine. I feel high. I don't have any pain in my body. I tend to see things in a better view and all that." And it now leads their colleagues and stuff like that to go into them. So we are looking at some of them, they just want to go into it. How do I feel? When people taking weed, I realize that they are a bit slow, or they are sluggish in their movements and all that. So I also want to try that. Charlie, my guys are all taking herbs, so let me also take in herbs. Or my guys are also taking saddle, so I also want to take in saddle and all that. So sometimes it's about the curiosity, the
peer pressure
bits.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. Then we look at another pertinent issue that I feel we need to put much attention to addressing, and these are mental health issues.
Wow.
I've actually found a lot of delight in taking younger people through issues of mental health, and I realized that the mere average Ghanaian would either be battling with some form of stress disorder, or some form of anxiety disorder, or some form of depression.
Wow.
Some of them are even suffering from what we call PTSD. That's a post-traumatic stress disorder. So what do I mean by all of these things? So a younger person, Charlie, minimum wage in Ghana, stress. Everybody's so you wake up in the morning, you have to get to work by 8 o'clock, you leave Accra you leave your area by 7, you have to be through traffic and all that. And Charlie, there's too much pressure. You get to work late, you have a problem with your boss. You go to work, your salary comes, there's stress all over. So you realize that the younger person comes home in the evening, and in order to get off his stress, he has to resort to the use of drugs. Oh, Charlie, the Marintra Roba could be then, that kind of thing. So people are battling with mental health issues. Some of them, they have to go for an interview, or they have to go for a program, and they get a bit anxious. So they have to just pass somewhere. So I'm sure with these instances, you realize that there are some people, before they'll come to you or something, they're already drunk or they're high. And some of them, they have to, when it comes to relationship wise or emotional wise, they have to kind of take in something small to push the edge. I've seen this pretty lady, I want to approach her, and I don't have the confidence.
Have the courage to.
Exactly. So this Friday, when I take her out on a date, I'll request for maybe a bottle of whiskey or something, or a glass of tequila or something, and I'll take it. So once I take it, it gives me the edge to come out and see everything. And so it kind of boosts the morale,
confidence, and wow.
Yes, exactly. And some of them too, after they've been through a lot of phase, and that's one of the detrimental effect of depression. So you go through depression, they don't even realize that they're going through depression. So once they go through depression, they realize that the only means of relief, which is a false one, is to use drugs. So there are some people, they are not even in pain, but because they are overthinking, they end up taking some of these hard drugs just to give them relief, because once you take them, you become high, and you feel a bit relief.
Yeah.
But then the point is that after taking all of these medications, it lasts for a certain short period of time. When it wears off the system, you start having the effects. Then the last two things I'll talk about is with respect to the kind of environment we find ourselves.
Okay.
So some people, unfortunately, they grow up in homes where their parents are taking alcohol.
Okay.
So Charlie, in my house, alcohol is a normal thing we do. So I'm used to taking alcohol. So I'll grow up as a young individual and I'll already be used to a bottle of beer. At the point you realize your father or your mother will be taking in a bottle of beer when it's left with small in the glass. Hey, Kofi, come and take it.
Wow.
So you are exposing the younger person to alcohol at a very early age. So when he gets to 16 years or 18 years, my father has been taking alcohol. So it's nice. It's not bitter. And and he moves on from there. And some people, because they find themselves, unfortunately, in a society where there are a lot of drug peddlers and stuff like that, they get exposed to them. And now social media. You go on TikTok, you go on Facebook,
Snapchat,
everywhere. Snapchat, and people are actually justifying smoking tobacco, or they are justifying smoking weed. So one time I was taking a stroll on Facebook and I realized that a young man had packed weed and he had dropped some dollars by it, and he just did a shot of it, and it was more like a trend.
Wow.
You see, it's something else. So these are some of the reasons why I believe some of the young people are diving into the use of drugs.
You have no call credits in your MTN account.
Yes, sir.
A question to ask you as well. Izzy?
Wait.
Yeah, so I would like to ask, what are some of the side effects of taking these drugs?
Sorry, can you take that?
What are some of the side effects of taking these drugs?
Great. So, with respect to side effects, I look at them from the physical health perspective, where from the brain, neurologically, you realize that there's an impact on the brain functioning of the young person or the youth. So most of the time, when you see these addicts or these drug users, when they take these drugs, you realize they become very slow. They become very, their way of talking, their way of thinking, everything is a bit slow. You use a term that, it's because he's high. That's how come, he's a bit slow and kind of thing. But then the point is that once the person has taken the medication or the drug, it goes straight into the brain. It has an impact on the brain. Then it reduces the brain's activity. So from time on, because of the reduction in the brain's activity, you realize that the person's movements, the person's way of thinking, everything becomes slow. Up until it withdraws from the system, then they come back to their normal life or their normal behavior. So it has a lot of impact on the brain and the neurological functions. And eventually, some of them are even it puts them at risk of developing a stroke, developing some form of other neurological deficits like the neuropathies and the likes.
Yeah.
And all these ones, you see them. So lately, you see younger people, age 22, 23, and they come into the emergency and they've had a stroke. Eventually, they'll put them on social media for support and they die. That's sad. And we look at some other ones which are with respect to respiratory disorders. So everything in the respiratory tract, in terms of the lungs, because of the smoking bait, they end up having some form of dysfunction in their lungs. So I
Hello, are you there, though?
Yes, I'm here. Please.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
So with respect to the lungs, you realize that because they've been smoking over the period, it causes a lot of structural modifications in the lungs, and they are exposed to chronic lung diseases. So they come in, and some of them even end up getting lung cancer.
Wow.
Some of them end up getting respiratory diseases of the lungs, severe respiratory diseases, and unfortunately, they get to terminal stages and they die. So you see a typical one, they are exposed to tuberculosis because they will always be coughing. Known smokers are always coughing.
Yeah.
Some of them, they even cough with blood. Some of them, they have breathing issues and all that. And I'm told, you see the cigarette box and they've written smoking may lead to the cause of cancer, or smoking is going to cause a lot of harm to your health, and people still smoke anyways. So these are some of the very critical issues. And there's another one with respect to cardiovascular. When we talk about cardiovascular, we are saying anything related to the heart and the blood vessels.
Okay.
So they end up getting heart-related issues. It's not always broken heart that will affect the heart. Some of these drugs also have critical implications on the functioning of the heart. Wow. So they'll come in and they tell you that anytime I take in a bottle of alcohol, I begin to have a lot of palpitations where my heart is beating very fast. Or when they take in some form of shots in terms of morphine or tramadol or heroin, they tend to have a lot of palpitations. Your heart is telling you that, Charlie, I'm overworking.
Yeah.
This thing is too much for my body, but they don't pay attention to it. So eventually, they can end up getting heart attacks, what we call myocardial infarctions, or they can even end up getting hypertension and some other severe arterial vascular diseases and all that. So you see, these days it's common at the hospital.
Yeah.
The youngest person I saw had hypertension about some months ago was around 20 years.
Wow.
And and this time around, we know, growing up, we knew that hypertension starts at age 45. Yes. But now, at age 20, 21, they're having hypertension.
Wow.
And you want to poke further and you realize that it's just because the person has been using a lot of drugs, they are taking in a lot of drugs and all that. And finally, the interesting one, renal disorders. So when we talk about renal disorders, typically we are talking about kidney-related issues.
Oh, okay.
So you see that lately, younger people, 20, 22, 24, they are on GoFundMe, they are coming to the hospital and you diagnose them with severe kidney disease, stage 3, stage 4. And when it happens like that, unfortunately, what I'll tell you is that I pray for divine healing for you.
Wow.
Unfortunately, when it gets to that stage, you have to be bent on dialysis, and you can calculate. I'm sure you media guys, you know better.
Sure. How expensive
dialysis costs these days, and you can see the trend. Since you have a lot of requests from people to support them for dialysis alone.
Surely.
And if you look further, you realize that these people were on drugs. They were taking in a lot of hard drugs, and unfortunately their kidneys, which was responsible for expunging them out of the body, could not take it any longer, so then it had to fail. And when your kidney fails to aside, it comes with a lot of complications. So it becomes a whole serious problem. So these are some of the side effects. Then when it comes to the mental health bit, it has a lot of implications on the mental health. Some of them, they end up going into psychosis, what we call madness, where they go high to some extent, and now they become extremely high on the road. So they are having second or third persons they are talking to. They are seeing a lot of things all over. They are walking about. They are stripping naked. They can run, and all these things are mental. Some of them are linked to mental health issues. So these are some of the side effects of abusing these drugs.
Okay, thank you so much. So, what would you recommend for those that rely on these drugs just to feel better, in terms of those that have anxiety, depression, and the rest?
Okay, so in terms of dealing with people who are bent on drugs, withdrawal from chronic drug use is a whole therapy on its own. I sometimes see people, and the point is that I realize their family members will come in, they tell you, hey, he was taking a lot of drugs, or the person is on drugs, and that we've taken him to seek spiritual support and all that, but unfortunately it's not working. The truth of the matter is that you can't just stop taking drugs like that. So you see someone who has been taking about 10 sticks of cigarette or 10 sticks of weed in a day, and you tell the person to stop like that, the person has gone beyond addiction. So then you take them through a therapy, to wean them off gradually. So my recommendation for people who are on drugs is that it's a gradual way to wean them off. That's one. And also they need emotional support. So some of these people, for they are battling with mental health issues. Some of these people are having pertinent issues. So we should find a way to address these issues for them. We should find a way to solve some of these problems they've been facing. There are a lot of social intervention programs. I'm looking forward to, do one talk on mental health issues for younger people in drug use.
Wow, that's great.
Where we can now address some of these key issues that they are facing that leads them into drugs. And we need to do a lot of education. As media people, I believe that you are also the clarion call that you'll be doing a lot of engagement on drug use. I know some has been done, but the more we educate people on the impacts and effects of these drugs on their health, I believe that they can gradually take them off, because they'll get to know better. Because it's now like the media space is rather advocating the use of drugs rather than educating them on the side effects of this use of drugs.
Unfortunately,
I believe with all of these, we can find a way to deal with it amicably.
Okay, sure.
All right. Yeah, doctor. So I'm just being curious here. Sorry. So I'm just being curious. I want to ask: is dementia as a result of drug abuse?
Dementia.
Yes.
So dementia, I'll not say it is a direct cause of drug use. However, it's been noted that there are some people, when they use drugs for a very long, some specific drugs for a very long period, they tend to lose some part of their memory. So like I said earlier, you realize that these drugs have some form of impact on your brain. But then dementia or drug use has not been said as the direct cause of dementia. Most of the time, we see dementia with familial lining. So it's from the family history where there's been episodes of dementia over the period. But then it's noted, or it's been observed, that there are some people that most often, when they are doing chronic use of drugs, they end up losing some part of their memory, and eventually they tend to have some form of dementia.
Okay. All right. So, Doc, before we leave you,
yes. Doc, please, I wanted to ask whether a person can fully recover from drug addiction.
Yes. You can fully recover from drug addiction. Like I mentioned, we have some form of therapy or some social intervention programs or projects that it targets with respect to recovery. So, taking someone off drug dependency is actually a very complex nature, or it's in a very complex nature, in the sense that it starts with the counseling bits, it starts with building up the person mentally and psychologically. Then eventually you expose the person to some of the factors that you can easily and quickly withdraw. So we can go on the hard way where we put the person on some specific medications that will just push the person off from taking drugs immediately. But then the side effect is that some of these medications eventually, when the person stops taking them, they can rush back into drug use. But then it's an interesting one where we believe and we have measures and systems in place where we can gradually, from the counseling bits to the drug medication therapy bits, we can gradually wean people, chronic drug users, from their dependency. And I would want to applaud the Accra Psychiatry Hospital, the Pantan Psychiatry Hospital. They are doing a lot of work with respect to the Ghana Psychiatric Society too. They are doing a lot of work with respect to dealing with issues of drug dependency and how they are weaning people off their withdrawal systems that they have in place to deal with some of these issues. It really helps. So anytime, any day, we can recommend. And we also have some private institutions as well that are also dealing with issues with respect to drug dependency and over reliance on the use of hard drugs.
All right. Okay, so Doc, speaking of things that can be done, like the Accra Psychiatric Center doing, as a government, as a people, as the medical institution, as you being a part of it, what are you doing to curb this menace in society? And what would you expect to be done by the governmental institutions or the medical institutions to do in terms of education, in terms of whatever measures you think should be put in place too?
Okay, so I believe that dealing with issues of youth in drugs is a holistic approach. The medical society, we are putting in our best in terms of making sure that younger people we get exposed to at the respective hospitals are given the necessary referrals to the clinical psychologists or psychiatrists to help them. You know, sometimes some of these people, they come in at the general hospitals as cases of maybe hypertension or some other medical related issue. However, when you probe further, that is when you realize that they are on chronic drug use, and that has resulted in some of these things. So once we identify and we pick it up, what we do is that we refer the individual to the nearest clinical psychologist or psychiatrist on call, and they deal with it. And that's where I said the psychiatry hospitals are doing very well on that. But then I believe that in everything we can do more. I pray that some of these private institutions, the typical one I know of is Gland Home Health, where they deal with respect to issues battling with mental health and all that. It's a private institution that is working on that, and eventually together some of these institutions can come on board to help. And you know, one thing I've observed over the period is anytime you refer a younger person or a youth to the Accra Psychiatry Hospital, Pantan General and Psychiatry Hospital, they tend to detach or run away from the referral.
Why?
Why? Because it's not too attractive. You know, because of the mentality of our people, or the nature or the society we find ourselves in, and even the nature of the psychiatry hospitals in itself, it's not attractive for people to even just work there on a regular day for counseling or mental health related issues. So when you refer them, some of them, they will not go, they'll run away. So I believe that the government and the Ministry of Health can now boost or kind of upgrade the facility and the structures in place with respect to these psychiatric hospitals and make it more attractive. I believe that if Accra Psychiatry Hospital has been transformed to something somewhat like an ultra-modern facility like BOG Hospital or even Trust Hospital, you see the way they are put up in a very, or UGMC. So you see Accra Psychiatry Hospital like UGMC or something like BOG Hospital. You know, everybody will want to walk in there and go and do. Because comparing the nature or the state of psychiatry hospitals to that of the ones we see outside, it's very, very attractive. When someone wakes up in the morning, they are stressed, they can just quickly walk there and do. But I believe that there's more work to be done. The Ministry of Health would take into consideration the structure and do some form of structural modifications for these facilities. And I believe once this is done, we can get people to go in there for treatment, management.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doc. And as we were talking, you mentioned that you are even planning yourself on organizing some mental health education for society, and we want to open our doors to you as media entity, that whenever you are ready, whatever support you will need in terms of media exposure or in all ways, that we are willing and ready to support you on that. So you're always welcome on our platform.
Thank you. So I believe that once I put my things in place, it's actually a whole seminar and an edu forum for the young people in the use of drugs and mental health related issues. So I'm doing this in partnership with Grand Home Health, which I mentioned earlier that they are leading the charge of mental health issues in Ghana. So I'll do that, and obviously Ghana Radio, I'll be ever ready to come on board. I'm sure your platform would be provided to reach out to a lot of younger people in this circus.
Absolutely. We open our doors to you in Ghana Talks Radio Studios. So, Doc, thank you once again, and thank you for making time for us and our listeners this morning.
Thank you too. It's been a pleasure.
Sure. Have a nice day.
All right. Thanks.
So that was Dr. Benjamin Bequin with us, educating us on some of the health-related issues in regards to drug abuse in society. So, he spoke. Oh, I forgot. I was booking a session for AC on anxiety. I'll call Doc. So yeah, that is it for. But I mean, what are some of the things that you think we can also do as a people, as a society, to curtail this menace?
I think education
and awareness, creating awareness.
Just as the way when it's time when it's October, we all know it's
breast cancer.
I feel like we should also bring out a program of that sort at every month, and this is a national issue.
It's global.
A global issue.
So
a global issue.
I think they do have a day for mental health, but it shouldn't be a day, because this is out of hands.
It should be a month.
You know, out of 100 women, and sorry to our audience if it's going to be unfortunate hearing, but out of 100 women, you can only find about not more than 5 with breast cancer. You get. But when it comes to this drug thing, I mean, he mentioned alcohol is
alcohol.
People are taking
actually,
it. Take 100 youth, 90 are either drinking or smoking.
I have a statistic.
So it should.
You to read it out.
You will read it, but not now.
Then I feel like our schools too, especially the senior high schools, there should be this form of like frequent one, because most of these addicts start from somewhere. Some of the parents, they try their best, but when your ward is going to school, you don't follow him to school, you don't follow her to school, you don't know what is going on, the kind of friends, as the doctor said, peer influence. You don't know the kind of friends they follow, what they listen to, and then the kind of thing. Yes.
And sorry.
Don't worry.
You know, just last week, the BBC Eyewitness uncovered a company from India. Avio Pharmaceuticals, who are packaging these kind of drugs into Africa. Now, my problem is, how did they find, if they are illegal, if they are not worthy of taken by people, how did they find their way into our drug
I think
pharmaceutical system?
With the original ones we already have in the market. Because I presume with every drug they have counterfeits, and then because sometimes just like the way we have a drug for headache, we have paracetamol. You can take Gibidol. So I think
they make it in such ways.
So they tell you this one is from a different company, not knowing that's not what it does.
We need to strengthen our borders, and I think our FDAs should strengthen their their security.
And I also feel like some people are also, like, when it comes to drug illegally, they import those drugs in here, and most of them, I will say, I don't have the evidence though, but I can say that some of the leaders are even part of this.
Some of the leaders.
Yes.
If you're a leader and you're a part of this, please,
into the country legally, because it's not, they are not actually importing it to be used by themselves, but to make their own money, and then it's having a drastic effect on the youth.
And in Tamale, there are some chiefs in Tamale who have actually assembled task forces to go after these youth who are into these drugs. So when they catch you, you are brought to a certain place, punished, and kept for some time.
I think that will help.
So we are pleading with our traditional leaders as well, because most of these things, they are in societies. So you have the upper hand, traditional leaders and the assemblymen and all. Please take measures, drastic measures, to curb this, because these people are our future. Someday, somehow, they are going to grow in the society, and if we don't take good care of them today and leave them go astray, the future will be very, very dark for us. So,
please, I wanted to ask whether smoking is legalized in Ghana, where you can be walking on the street and be smoking.
No, it's
because
not.
I've seen one before.
It's not legalized.
Confidently smoking in public.
It's not legalized.
And no one is saying anything about it.
Ignorance of it.
It's not.
So don't you feel like such people should be arrested or something?
I mean, the laws, Ghana itself, we need law enforcement. Like the institutional bodies. Yesterday, something happened when I was going. I was like, look at this. The car I was seeing, the driver did something which was wrong. He picked someone from somewhere. He actually stopped there to load. That is not a loading point. A policeman on a motorbike came, saw us, told the driver that after loading, come and see me from there. I was like,
come and see you.
And so the driver loaded the passengers, gave some money to the maid to Charlie Kosetel Nayongo.
Really?
So we need law enforcement. We need law enforcement.
Because even with what you are saying, the person I saw smoking, there was it's like a barrier of policemen, but no, it's like no one cares.
Nobody cares.
And you cannot breathe. Yes.
You are still with us on Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Join the conversation on all our social media platforms at Ghana Talks Radio, at Ghana Talks Radio. Don't forget to use the hashtag also Ghana Talks BFS, Ghana Talks BFS. Onto our next topic is the Agenda 111 project, which was started, I think it was somewhere in, was it 2021,
2021?
In relation to the COVID thing, right?
Yes.
Agenda 111. And President Mahama yesterday met with the religious leaders, pleading with them to help, collaborate, and complete those projects. It seems the government has so much burden on themselves that now they are pleading with individuals to help with projects. But during the campaign season, leading to the 7th December elections, there were so many communicators of the NPP talking about how they've built. Yes, but according to the president, and he's the president, if he was wrong, and I haven't seen anyone come out to refute what he said. So we are all going by what he's saying. That only one was completed, and even that, the building, the structure is completed, but there are no facilities in to serve the people.
Nothing.
And yet, look at the amount of money we mentioned that has gone into this. And now the president is saying we need about
$1.7 billion
to complete it.
To complete it.
Everything.
So
Everything.
You think, you believe that his call with the private entity to help complete the project is a good call?
Yeah, I think it's a good call, because I believe that in every organization there's something we call corporate social responsibility.
Oh, okay.
That is like you giving back to the society.
Yeah.
So if he has taken it upon himself to go to these religious leaders to ask for their support, they shouldn't see it as a burden. They should see it as they are helping the community. They are giving back. In as much as someone came out with the comments that they are not paying taxes, so we should leave it for them alone. We can't leave it for them alone to do. Just like as we have Ghana Talks Radio, every year we organize a festive bash which is on Christmas Day. We are in a way saying thank you to all those that have they come, we give them drinks, they enjoy good music, we bring in celebrities and all of that. So if President Mahama has gone to the religious leaders to ask for help, to collaborate with the government, not like leaving it on them, to collaborate with the government to complete this, I think it's a good cause. They should see it as a corporate social responsibility, as a donation given back to the community.
Society,
Mind you, some of their members are also in that community. So in a way, you are helping them, you are helping Mother Ghana as well.
Sure.
Yes, for me, in a way it's good, in a way it's bad.
In a way it's good.
Yes, in a way it's good, in a way it's bad.
Let's take the bad first.
Yes, 1.77 billion isn't something that we will just wake up today and then we will have it. And my problem has to do with, why is it that previous government wasn't sincere enough to let us know that, oh yes, we started with the project. This is what we've done. We were not able to complete all. Let's be sincere. You listen, so that if the next government is coming in, he has already made arrangements for everything that he's coming to take over with. Because every new government that comes into power has its own things that he has already arranged to do, even though it is also part of it. Like what the previous government has started, it's not for them, it's not for NPP, it's not for NDC, it's for the country. But my problem is, why do we always start with something that we know we cannot finish?
Well, that's.
But I believe there were some monies which were assigned for this project.
Yeah, they were.
100 million were assigned, and each unit is taking 17 million.
See, the kind of mess that went into this Agenda 111 policy. Because do you know that the Agenda 111 hospitals, they all have the same plan? Now,
just like the E-block.
Yeah, the architect who was in charge of this thing, if I should draw a plan for Ghana Talks Radio, and we are going to have 10 branches, it's going to have the same
building,
everywhere.
The same design.
Do you know what the architect did? If he's building 50,000 blocks of the Agenda 111, he charged for he charged independently for every architecture he did,
but not as a collective.
He didn't do it collectively.
That's a cheat.
Yeah, it's a cheat. So that's some of the mess that went on in these things. So you see why they still couldn't finish.
Yes, project. And it's very bad. And I've seen that it has become something that has been normalized. that we come out, we say this,
Yeah.
and then we know within ourselves.
Yeah.
The reason why I'm saying this because it's so hurtful. Because as at that time, the Minister of Information, Kojo Ponkruma, came to tell us that the project will be completed within 12 months, and 12 months is a space of what, 1 year.
Yeah.
And they've been in power for how many years? 8 years. And you see, at least you they finish with half of it. Even with the half, there are no equipment like that will facilitate the work of, I mean, the doctors or the nurses or whatever. And then mind you, this project, when it is done, it is going to employ a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
it's going to serve a lot of
purposes.
Health itself, the health sector itself, our infrastructure and everything is problematic in the country.
Yes.
Very problematic.
Yes.
So these are some of the things that we need to prioritize as a country. Let's not politicize it.
No.
Let's just nationalize it as citizens, as leaders of a country, not of political parties, and just do justice to this year. Yeah.
But I was thinking GM will go for the cathedral rather, since it looks like the purpose of the cathedral aligns with the religious body. Since we are saying that the cathedral will be like a church for but rather he went with agenda 111.
The hospital and a church, which one?
What does that say? What was your question?
I was asking you, a hospital and a church, which one will you pick?
Wow.
Will you go in for?
Wow. So it speaks of the prioritization, what is needed.
Exactly.
Well, kudos to the president.
Exactly.
That is a good highlight that both of you has.
You can pray as much as you can, because there was this story I was told that in those days, I don't know, it's related to a particular church. I can't remember. You pray. When you're sick, you don't go to church, and it's a doctrine of the church. You pray, and then they believe that God will heal you. So they continued doing that for some time, and then it got to a day the leader of the church got sick, and it's going to a point that they've done the spiritual aspect. It's left with the physical, and then he has to go to the hospital. So it tells you that as you are working on yourself spiritually, your body also needs. So God is not, you get it.
So it's a great
hospital
call.
And I believe some of these churches have already started doing the good work. If you go to some of the bus stop, you see Apostolic Church, they built a shield. Like if you are waiting for a car, there are chairs over there. So I think with this one,
it's in all honesty, like, and yes, I'm not downplaying their I don't even know how to say it. The church is doing very less in society. They act like they are not part of the society. In fact, you can see a very big, beautiful church in a certain area, and the road that leads to that church is so bad.
Yeah, true.
I mean, look at the people they have in the churches. Big churches all around. So many members. Every Sunday, some churches take about 4 offerings every Sunday, 4 times. The offering for this, offering for that. No, we are all Christians. I'm not bashing any Christianity here, but we should act as Christians. The church is for the society. The church is not for some spiritual beings or angels somewhere. It's for the society.
Okay.
So the society needs to benefit from the church, and these are some of the benefits we are looking for from the church. Social interventions. So this is a great call to them. They should heed to it and do much more than that.
Are you sure they will be able to help raise that money we are talking about here?
I am telling you that just one church can raise this money from one single convention. Oh yes,
1.7 billion.
They will from one single convention. It's a church. God has blessed them. They know. So
they should bless the state.
They should bless the people. Still with us on Ghana Talks Radio, and we will move on to our last discussion before we get into the interview with our beautiful guest who is here for the come up segment. It promises to be very entertaining today as well, just as it was the last time. So before she comes on, let's get into the last topic of the day. Galamsey. We are back on this issue. I think we will never stop talking about Galamsey until maybe, for instance, it's a huge A for me.
Yeah.
So yes, there's been a new development in Galamsey. Now, our cries towards Galamsey, I've seen has changed to our applaud towards Galamsey, which is quite encouraging, because not so long ago, Erastus, the investigative journalist spearheading the fight against Galamsey, who was nearly killed not so long ago, came to say that some new people has also taken over some forest reserves and mining. Now, throughout this weekend, he's come out with different. I think he's still in the bush, so he hasn't really. But he's been posting and saying that okay, there's been a fight here. The government has been able to chase these people away and taking over their land. There's been this and been that. Now, yesterday, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, in collaboration with the Ashanti Regional Minister, see, one of the places that the Galamsey is really going on is in the Ashanti region.
Yeah, the Ashanti region.
Most of it is in the Ashanti region.
I'm beginning to suspect them. Like some leaders why Ashanti region?
Yeah, Ashanti region because they are sitting on gold.
Yeah, the landers.
It's castle.
What's the before friend?
Do you have gold in the Volta region?
No, please.
No, is that a question? Do you have gold in the northern region?
Yeah,
it is in the Ashanti region.
That's where it goes. Yeah. So
that's their target.
The minister and the minister.
Yeah.
Collaborated. And what I like about this particular thing is that 3 weeks ago, the Ashanti regional minister gave an ultimatum to the miners, the Galamseyers, that he's giving them 2 weeks to pack their stuff and leave. After the 2 weeks, he's coming with full force. And the 2 weeks was actually yesterday. And yesterday, they went to some sites and seized excavators and chased the people away.
But they will come back again.
Yes.
Are you sure?
They will.
Well, let's see how far that goes.
Sunday,
even during Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, they bent the excavators. But what happened? They went to buy another one, then they came back.
So
to
which
the
tells you that there are forces behind the scene we don't see.
Yeah.
We don't see, and these forces are not angels.
Okay, so
they are our own people. Who are doing that. Because let's say you own this territory, I cannot just come here with my own pie and then I start to mine. I have to seek the permit of the chief. I have to seek the permit of certain people. And so those Chinese that we see them mining, they did not just fly from heaven and they straight to Obuasi. They are going to mine.
Someone gave them
that permit. And the people are suffering. It's very painful.
So let's see how far this goes, because we've seen it before. Oh, Yapam way, Yapam. In fact, Aisha Juan was Juan.
Aisha Juan.
We deported her. Few weeks.
She came back.
We saw her. I've never
she came back.
So that should tell you.
Who was able to,
so that should tell you.
She came back. And a deportee who has Ghana card.
I mean,
so you should tell you that.
It goes beyond. But let's see. I mean, there's a new administration who has also launched a fight. So let's see how far it goes.
We are just hoping for the
best.
Yes, sure. So I think this is where we will end our discussions for the day as we head into the next segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Thank you and stay tuned as we come your way very soon with our guests.
This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. This is Ghana Talks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast? English breakfast. French fry.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto. Wachi.
Well, Gobe is the real deal. Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sport, and all trending stories live on our mobile app, and also follow us on our socials at GhanaTalks Radio.
From Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. with me, Pakwesi Obare,
Deborah Adolso,
Regina Bliss,
and I am Esinom. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry Brell, our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding se tete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you're rapper, you think say you get bars. You go be spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio, and yes, say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app, no, our Play Store, any App Store. Not tune in, and say this is what you see. Baba live on Facebook, Cointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page, and this now listen. I bet you fire 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
So welcome back on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. This is me with you still, Pakwesi Omari, and in the studios again, my beautiful
Esnam.
And fortunately for us, so fortunate, this is the second segment of the show. Every Tuesday, the Come Up segment. This is where the platform is given to young up and coming entrepreneurs, people who are doing so much in society in terms of creating jobs for not only themselves but for other people as well. We have in the studios with us today, is it Miss or Mrs.?
Well, it's Miss.
Yes.
Yes.
Miss Macy Adoma.
Miss, soon to be Mrs. So
Amen. Wow. Shit. The boys in the WhatsApp group are disappointed because some were giving me hints that I will take your number. The way she, see, if you can see my guest in the studio today, the way she's beautiful. Hey,
thank you.
I always thought it's Sinam and the Debbies who are beautiful. Today they're having competition. I thank God.
Is that you? No.
I'm
a fancy.
No. Wow.
Yes, I'm a fancy.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. My manager is also a fancy. My boss,
wow.
he's a fancy.
That's nice.
Oh, and he's single.
Oh, wow.
Oh. So yes, once again, welcome into the studios of Ghana Talks Radio.
Thank you.
Yes. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So,
Like you already know, my name is Mercy.
Yeah.
I'm a young entrepreneur.
Okay.
I started this business not long ago though.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but I've always had it in my mind that I want to start something for myself.
Okay.
And then I did. It just came out, random thoughts. I just did it.
Just random thoughts.
Yeah, and I just did it. I spoke to a few friends and they were like, "Oh, it's a good idea. You should do it." And I just did it. So yeah, I'm a soon-to-be doctor.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So that's me. I stay at Spencer's.
Okay.
I completed University of Energy and Natural Resources and
University of
Energy and Natural Resources.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in Sunyani.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah, so yeah, that's just about it.
So yeah, before where did you go to SHS? Tell us a little bit. Take us through your educational journey.
I'll skip some parts.
Okay.
But I completed the Yasantua Girls, so I'm an old student of Yasantua Girls.
Okay.
And I went through to uni and then so I've completed uni, just like I said. Yeah. So soon to be doctor, I'm still in school.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
So currently I'm working.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it related to the medical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It is related to the I just don't want to put it out there.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So it's related.
The boys in the WhatsApp group,
Okay.
they have waist problems. So after here, free consultation. Most of them, their
No
waist,
problem.
their waist is.
No problem.
Okay, so that's great. So you started not long ago.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you started not long ago.
Wow. So Glovana juices.
Glovana juices.
Yes, Glovana.
What's the inspiration behind
The inspiration is that one, I started doing skin consultations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Skin,
because
like
yes,
your skin, okay.
I have crazy acne, but I did so many research and then I got so many things to actually help me cure it.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So it started from there.
Okay.
So I posted a bit about it and people were interested about my journey. They wanted to know, maybe it help us with our acne, our dark spots and all that.
Yeah.
So I started with that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but along the line, I was interested in this.
Okay.
I was interested in doing the juice. So I was like, yes. So I was like, you know what? I can't combine two masters at the same time. Maybe when I want to specialize in dermatology, then I can come off as what I am portraying to be.
Okay.
So let me drop this and do what I am passionate about.
Okay.
So yeah, so I went in for the juices.
Okay.
Yes. So it started there. People were interested in the ginger shots because ginger shots is really good for the skin. So along the line, we branched.
We'll get into that.
Okay.
Now, Glovana. What is the inspiration behind the name Glovana?
So glow means glow.
Okay, so like you were
It's
glowing.
it's two combinations. So
Okay.
the Vana means Nirvana, which means luxury, immunity, and that's so. Glow means Glovana. Glow means glow, and then Nirvana means immunity, vitality. So it's a combination of two luxury names.
Charlie, I can see she has
It's like-
brains, like
yeah.
academically she's in depth, because just the choosing of the name itself is me. Wow. Glovana juices.
It sounds classy and luxury.
Yeah. So you mentioned that not so long that you started. How long have you been?
Let's say about 2 months.
2 months.
Yes.
So what I'm seeing here is a 2-month
journey.
Wow.
Yeah. What you are seeing is a 2-month journey.
Wow. Okay, I'm surprised. Yeah, honestly, because look at the packaging.
Yeah.
This looks like it's been in the system for years. I mean, it's been in transitioning. So if you are starting with this, then Charlie, by next year, where will you take us?
That's exactly what I want to do. So it's starting from somewhere.
Wow.
From next year, it will be big and big and big and big.
What inspired you into going in for juice and not some hair, not pedicure, not even the skin care routine that you actually came up with a research to kill?
Yeah, so it was just a random thought, like I said.
A random thought?
Yes. And
what triggered that?
Let's say
thought?
Nothing, actually.
Wow.
Let's say God has been so good to me in terms of these things. I just sit down. I'm a go-getter, by the way. I just sit down, say I want to do this, and I go for it. So I just sat down and I said I want to do it. And I just did it.
You just did it?
Yeah. So I started doing some random research, where to get my bottles, where to source fruits, where to do my packaging materials and all that. And then I placed it out there and people got interested, so they started purchasing.
In 2 months, how has the reception been?
Fantastic.
I love the word. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Fantastic. I'm amazed, honestly.
Wow.
I am amazed.
Wow.
Because I don't know, people just come, oh, I want to buy juice, I want to buy juice, I want to buy juice. Sometimes it's overwhelming because like I said, I have a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So it's overwhelming sometimes, and I won't tell you that, oh, I don't have some available.
Yeah.
So you go somewhere. No, I'll give it to you. Wow. I'll just tell you, oh, can you wait till maybe in the evening around 9? I'll deliver it to you around 9. And they'll be like, oh, cool, I'm okay. And I do that. Sometimes I deliver even at 10 p.m.
Okay. So, tell us about the juice.
We have about 8 juices.
8 different?
Yes, 8 different juices. Yes.
Take us through.
So, one, we have the citrus spice.
Okay.
Which contains orange, pineapple, carrots, ginger. So citrus.
Yes, citrus. Yes.
And then we have the tropical bliss, which contains banana, watermelon, pineapple.
I can see pawpaw and mango.
And then mango. Wow. Yes. So it gives this bliss. I don't know how to explain it, but it's magical. This is my best selling. Honestly.
Wow, the tropical bliss.
Yes, people really, it's really good. It's that good. Yeah. Aside the pine orange punch, this is really good. And then I have pine orange punch, like you're seeing. So that's a combination of pineapple and orange. And then I have pine ginger, which is the tropical bliss, which has pineapple and ginger. I have roselle juice, which is normally called sobolo. I have beetroot juice. And I have melon breeze, which contains melon, mint, and lime. Yeah, and then I think that's about it, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you are more consistent with research and everything you do. You want to get your facts right before you delve into something. What are some of the benefits on various juices? Yeah, because I see they have different combination of fruits and all that.
Yeah, so pineapple is really good for digestion.
Okay.
Yes, pineapple is really good for digestion, aids with constipation. Ginger, on the other hand, is very good for antioxidants.
Okay.
Yes, so the ginger shots is a combination of ginger, turmeric, carrots, pineapple, orange. It's a compact thing, you see, like that.
Which one is that? The smaller one?
Yes. So
the ginger shot.
Yes.
Don't let my manager hear.
So when you take that, you normally take that in the morning, like early in the morning, on an empty stomach.
Okay.
It aids with bloating. It helps with your skin. It helps with weight loss, because ginger is known for weight loss.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. I never knew.
Oh, so now you know.
Oh, and I've been eating once a day.
Yeah.
Because I want to
No, not entirely. You have to
put in other
do
measures.
portion control, calorie deficit, and all that. But when you inculcate this, it speeds up the process.
Wow.
Yes. So I think you have to inculcate this in your weight loss journey.
Wow, that's great.
So what sets you apart from the other juice makers? Why do you think I'll come and buy yours instead of this? What's different about it?
One, I don't want to put myself out there as a doctor yet, because I'm not there yet.
But I mean, you are in the process.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So if you come to me and you speak to me, I mean, I have some medical background.
Okay.
So it will help. It will make you trust me more than the others.
Okay.
Because I am preaching wellness. Yes, I'm preaching wellness. I'm preaching, because I don't take alcohol. I take fruit juices.
Okay.
Because I know the effects alcohol has on our body.
Okay.
Yes. So why not take fruit juices instead of alcohol? Okay. So that's what sets me apart. And I feel like let's say packaging, marketing, how you put yourself out there also sets me apart from other people. I mean, I have competitors on this league, no doubt. Yeah. But that's what sets me apart from others. How I brand myself, how I speak to my clients, and how I market myself, and how I put myself out there.
Okay. Take us through that journey, your marketing space, your branding procedures.
Okay, so I'm very active on Snapchat.
Okay.
And on TikTok.
Okay.
So that's where I put most of the videos I do out there.
Okay. So you make videos of it to market them?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but you see, editing and all of that is stress. So sometimes I feel lazy to do that a lot. But I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm actually trying. So yeah, I do videos and I put it out there for people to know that. Sometimes I educate on my WhatsApp and then my Snapchat too.
Okay.
Yeah, for people to know that this is what we are preaching wellness this year. Yeah, we are not doing anything that will put strains on our health. So yeah.
Wow. So we've seen so many instances where juices and all that. Oh, this is juice. I'm supposed to believe juice is like
freshly squeezed
from something. Yeah. But then again, we see additives and all that. In what is made up of the Glovana juice?
Glovana has no additives, no sugar, no
like
preservative, none.
Freshly
squeezed. We bottle it as we squeeze it.
Like none.
So how do you preserve it?
So I freeze it.
Okay.
Yeah. So initially I was doing pasteurization. But
what was that?
Okay. So you heat it a bit.
Okay.
But it has an effect on the taste.
Okay.
So I changed it.
Okay.
So I freeze it now.
You freeze it now.
Yeah. So when you freeze it, you see the top here. I leave some spaces here.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So that when you freeze it, it doesn't bottle up and become so hard
yeah,
it will spill.
Okay.
Yeah. So you leave the spaces there for that. So you freeze it, and when you take it, it's as fresh as new.
So like it's fresh juice, like
fresh juice,
nothing
no
added.
additive, no sugar, no nothing, no preservative.
And you can keep it for a very long time.
When you freeze it, you can keep it for a very long time. Yeah.
Okay.
Once it's in the fridge and it's freezed, you have nothing to worry about. Yeah.
Okay.
So I always encourage my clients that when you buy it, I am taking it from the fridge, from where it's free. So please, when you get it, just freeze it if you are not drinking it anytime soon. But you can't do that with the ginger shot. Ginger shot, you don't have to freeze it because of the ginger and turmeric. It can go months.
Wow.
Yes.
Months, like.
Yes, because of the bottle. Yeah, because it's in a bottle.
Okay. What's
can
the
go
difference?
months.
Let me have it.
Okay.
Okay. This is great. I believe that you've given production some to advertise for you. Have you given?
Oh
some?
no, I will.
You will. Okay.
Yeah.
So let us have some of them.
Let them try it.
Please, if can I show it on so he displays it for us? Yeah. Oh, okay. So we have. Wow. Wow. So these are, if you are watching us, these are the what do you call it?
The flyer.
Varieties.
Yes, the varieties.
We have the varieties on the flyer.
Yeah.
You can watch it and then you choose what you want for your birthday celebration.
Oh, I forgot
place
to
an order.
mention.
Yeah.
We take orders for birthdays and all other events.
That is great.
Yeah.
Now, because I was about to ask you, if someone wants to order in large quantities,
we do. We provide in large quantities.
How much in large quantities can you produce?
As many as you want.
Wow.
Yes, as many as you want. You just give me your number and I'll provide.
Okay.
Is it on pre-order?
Yes.
Okay.
In large quantities, it's on pre-order.
Pre-order.
Because we have to make time and availability for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you do that alone, or you have workers or assistants?
I do that alone.
No.
Alone.
Like you are doing 9 to 5, and you still do this alone.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody
I'm
supporting
trying
you.
to
recruit
somebody.
Okay.
So I'm putting it out there that if somebody wants to join me, they can come.
I'm here.
I'm
here. Why not? Why not? Man, why not? Why not?
Wow.
Why not? Yes, we'll speak about the employment.
Okay.
We will help you recruit someone.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll be very excited.
Yeah, we have an HR department who does that as well.
Oh, wow.
So whenever you have the request to recruit somebody here,
no problem. I will be
now.
very
Yes, it's fresh.
Yes, it is. I can see that for myself. Very fresh.
Now, take us through. So, okay, I'm having a wedding. I want Glovana Jews to come and serve some fruit juice there. Will you be able to do that? I mean, I have about 200 people as guests, 300 people coming.
Don't worry, we got you covered.
Wow. So you have all the equipment to, because you mentioned that it's as bottled as it's squeezed.
Yes.
So wow.
So don't worry, we have dispensers that we will use. We have a setup that we will do.
Okay.
Yeah, so that your party, your wedding, your funeral can have the best juices.
No. This is just 2 years old. 2 months.
2 months.
And look at all the things you are mentioning.
Yeah.
How much planning went into you beginning your...
There's nothing like planning. Once you know what you want, you go for it.
You don't
That's
plan?
my principle.
That's your principle? Just a go-getter?
Yeah. So once you know that this is what I want, you go for it.
Okay, let's get into the real business. Now, in Ghana, we've seen people begin businesses and then, I mean, it drops out of the market and all that stuff. What are some of the challenges you faced so far, since even before you began and during beginning, all related to Glovana juices?
I would say poor engagement.
Poor engagement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say it's not always rosy.
Okay.
Some days you get bulk orders, like really bulk orders that you can't even do anything. Like you'll be so stressed and so tensed up, but some days it's so dry.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's say poor engagement and me. I was a lack of sleep too, cause I'm always juicing.
Wow.
Always.
Wow.
I come back from work, I'm juicing. I'm juicing.
Wow.
Even this morning, I juiced before coming. Yes. So, because I prioritize quality over quantity. So let's say I open the fridge and initially when I started, when I opened the fridge and maybe when I didn't know how to preserve it very, very well, I open the fridge, I take the bottle and I feel like, oh, it has fermented. I have to drop it. I don't have to serve that to my customers. So I'll just say, oh, please give me, like say, an hour or two and I'll get it sorted. So I'll just squeeze another and then dispatch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but when it comes to getting the materials, it's easier for you. You easily get them.
Yeah, I easily get them.
Wow.
So I source it. Initially, I wasn't really getting it, but at a point, now I have people who supply the fruit to me. Yeah. So I don't buy great quantity, like I just buy in small quantity. So I have market women who come from the north.
Wow.
Yeah, so when they come, I just call them, like Saturday morning, I just call them and say, oh, ma, please,
need this
I'll need this, I'll need that. Then I just go for it.
That's nice. I must say
Very
that's
nice.
quite
Now,
impressive.
one of the things that has been, like, everyone, in all aspects, challenging, always has been funding.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at your branding. It's exquisite. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. I can tell much more went into your branding.
Yeah.
But the funding of it, I mean, even the funding of the entire juicing thing, some of the materials that you are going to need to
transportation
and all that stuff. Funding, how did you come by that?
I work.
Oh,
I have a 9 to 5.
5 years.
So I invest. I don't mind investing all my money into my business.
Wow.
Let's just say I'm in the rough stage where I'm supposed to fund it. So maybe in the course of the years, it will fund me back.
Wow, that's great.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm not in the cocoa season.
Yeah.
I'm in a period where I have to put in more money. So that Sunday I can profit from it. So right now, I don't profit from it like I'm supposed to. Yeah, but I am putting in much work so that later in the years to come.
Okay. Now, wow. So, have you ever considered partnership with someone or some people in terms of investment and all that stuff?
Okay, so I have a business proposal drawn out.
Okay.
So let's just say if anyone wants to partner with me, I'll just pitch my ideas to them.
Okay.
And we'll see where the road will take us.
All right. So before we end the show today, we will give you the platform to speak about your business ideas or proposal and like whatever you would wish. Even if you are looking for investors or something, you can put it out there and all that. So, but before that, you see, any other thing you would want to ask?
I think someone just dropped a comment on our YouTube.
Okay.
This is from Kojo. I'm intrigued by her go-getter attitude.
Yeah.
She's not a Vigo by any chance. Are you a Vigo by any chance? Or do you believe in those?
I'm a Scorpio.
A Scorpio.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. So that's from Kojo. I don't know if you know him personally.
No, I'm not sure I know him personally.
Okay. So you mentioned that you were just there, right?
Yeah.
Would you say it was out of boredom? That was why?
Oh no. I have a 9 to 5. I'm always busy. Always running around.
You just went in for it simply because you love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
That's nice. So looking at the unemployment, brouhaha with the government and all of that so far, what would you say to somebody like as a sibling or maybe a brotherly advice? Let me say somebody who is sitting down and then waiting for the government to give them a job. What would you say to that person?
We are in a time where the government is not about to create jobs opportunities for us. We have to create the job opportunities ourselves.
Wow.
Yes. So if you have anything in mind, you sit down, you do your research, and you go for it. You do it so well. So the reason why, like I said, people will choose me over the others is because of the way I put myself out there.
Okay.
And my marketing strategy. So you do your research, thorough research, and you know that what is my target audience, what is my target market. You do all of that. Then you put your business or anything you want to put out there, and trust me, it's going to bloom. It will not be rosy in the beginning, or maybe you might even lose hope that, oh, what would this thing take me? But in the course of the day, I mean, they said perseverance pays, right?
Sure.
Yes. So once you are showing up every single day, I mean, one day will just blow. People will get to know you for that. So yeah.
So you mentioned marketing strategies.
Yes.
So what are some of the strategies you leverage on to market your product?
So now I'm pitching my juice to restaurants and hotels. Yeah. So let's say when it actually plays out, you won't be seeing only me market my products. You see, when you go to restaurants, you might even have a taste of Glovana when you go to the restaurant. So yeah, that's what I'm doing currently.
Okay, that's nice. So what's your vision in the next maybe 2 to 3 years to come? Where do you see Glovana?
I own a juice factory. Yes, that might even happen before the year ends. Who knows? Because in 2 months, this is what I've achieved. So I can do more
I think
in a year. So
nice.
You know what I like about her?
What?
Her spirit. That's how people put it. Her spirit.
Yeah.
But I mean, in real terms, her aura.
Yeah.
She's so lively, and she's very optimistic about. And this is what we need as inspiration.
Okay.
Like, whoever is listening to us, I mean, this is how you should go about your dreams. Be optimistic about it. Believe that you can take it to the next level. Whatever ideas you have, you can put it into making. This is a 2 months baby I'm looking at me back like it is 2 years already.
Yeah.
Just look at the branding. Man, Glovana is going places, and I'm so happy that Charlie, see, now, real facts, don't sugarcoat anything on this one. As an entrepreneur, and I know you haven't really been in for long, but do you think the space, the business space in Ghana has created much more room for entrepreneurs to grow and flourish?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because I think we could do better.
Okay, in what sense?
In our production, our marketing, and all that. See, entrepreneurs nowadays suffer.
Okay.
Because everybody wants to get into business.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
Who is buying? Who is selling?
Yeah.
Everybody is selling. Who is going to buy?
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not really that nice to be in, but I mean, when you do it better, I think you would. I mean, everybody has like I said, everybody has a target audience and a target market.
Sure.
Okay, so let's say if I am selling dresses and Essie, right? Essie is selling juices. My target audience will be outdoors, let's say ladies and all that.
Okay.
Maybe hers will be kids.
Okay.
Old people and all that. So when you put all of this into consideration, I think it works.
It works.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your market target?
My market target is kids, old people, like not old people. But
can you give a year range?
Let's say from everybody can take Glovana. Let me put it that way. Everybody can take Glovana, but kids are part because not every entrepreneur's market target is kids.
Okay.
Yes. So kids from the ages of let's say 2 to old age.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Because you can actually give this to your child. There is nothing. We have tropical bliss. You can give that to your child because we don't add any preservative or
nothing
anything.
at all.
Yeah. Nothing.
It's so fresh.
So you can give that to your child. You can give our pine orange punch to your child to take to school.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing. Let's say maybe the ginger shot, you won't take it. You won't give it to your child because it's concentrated.
Sure. Wow. So you are still with us on Ghana Talks Radio. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, and today's segment is the Come Up segment. And in the studios with us is Miss Adoma Mercy. The CEO of Glovana Juices, and I mean, I'm loving the conversation, the inspiration behind her dreams, the optimism, looking forward ahead to the things she wants to achieve with what she is beginning. It's just 2 months, and I mean, there's a testimony.
It looks good.
Yeah. I mean, she's invested. Oh, I can tell. Because Charlie, what I'm seeing now, I'm telling you, this is not a 2 months baby. Yeah, so I mean, Essie.
Yeah, so you mentioned you can give the juice to
your
child as well. Have you thought of any kind of like a special brand to make it more interesting?
Wow. Next week I've ordered for pouches.
Pouches.
Yes, pouches where let's say it will be different. The packaging will be different from the ones we are seeing right now.
Okay.
So that one we can serve in schools to actually
the kids there.
Yeah, refresh them during lunch break, so they are quite
Wow.
So you are an entrepreneur, yeah. And this comment has been worrying lots of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the comments with the customer is always right, even when the customer is sometimes wrong. What do you make of that? Is it always that the customer is right?
Sometimes I prioritize my peace of mind.
Oh, so even when the customer is being troublesome,
I'll give you your money. I'll refund you. No, I won't deal with you.
But you know the customer is also the backbone of your business.
Yes, but you see, you have to talk to them calmly. Calmly. Oh, let's say is an issue of delivery. Okay, you text me and be like, oh, please, I've ordered and then I've not gotten it in a very long time. What's happening? Oh, please hold on, let me speak to my rider. I called the rider and she was like, oh, madam, there is a bit of an issue on the road, so I should be there in about 30 minutes. I call you and I'm like, oh, please. The rider says he'll be there in 30 minutes. Then you go haywire. Why? What do you mean 30 minutes? All of that. Then I'll ask you, can I refund you? Should I refund you?
Yeah.
Then you'll be like, oh yeah, I will refund you. My peace of mind is important.
Wow.
And sometimes it's not every money that you accept. Sometimes in quotes. Yeah. There are clients that become family. They love you so much and what you do so much that they become family.
Okay.
Oh, they recommend you, they speak good about you, and some people just come and then spoil your brand. I won't let that get to me.
Okay.
No way.
Wow.
Yeah, I won't let that get to me. I'll refund you as soon as possible.
Wow.
And I'll have my peace of mind. I'll tell the rider, please bring me by one package. And then I've refunded the lady or the man or whatever the person is.
Okay.
So customer is not always right.
Okay.
But it's the way you go about it as an entrepreneur. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't speak to them when they are here. You are not here to. You have to be here.
Okay.
Because two fires don't
they
do anything good.
It's just going to bend the entire city down.
The entire city down.
Okay.
So when the person is fire, you become water to cool the situation.
Sure.
Yes. So when you realize that, oh, maybe when you are at fault too, you work on that.
Yeah.
So you speak to them. Oh, some people really understand.
Okay.
Some people really understand. Last week I had a client that ordered about 32 bottles of juices.
Okay.
And there was pressure. I had to speak to her.
Yeah.
Please, can I deliver at this time?
Yeah.
Is it convenient I deliver at this time?
Yeah.
Please, can I do this?
Yeah.
Please, can I do that?
Yeah.
She was okay with it.
Okay.
So it's the way you talk to them sometimes.
Okay.
But when you see that, oh, this person is not somebody that wants to be reason with you, you just let the person go.
Yeah.
Just let the person go. That's not the end of the world.
Sure.
And you said one client cannot actually spoil your whole business. One will not do anything to your business. Do you understand?
Sure.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so Kojo replied back. He said, I have 2 friends who are Vigo and she has the same tenacity and drive. This is the reason for my question. So
okay, Kojo, I want to give you another reason. Another reason to be questioning her. Recommend her to your friends and family. Recommend in fact, order some yourself. Glovana juices, Kojo. The talking is too much. Action.
Come and order.
Action.
Come and order.
Yeah, we are expecting about 15 bottles order from Kojo.
15 is small.
That's from Kojo alone. 30 from your friends. So yeah, Kojo, that's it for you. But thank you, Kojo, for getting interactive on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Always let us hear from you, add your comments and views. And yes, as I said, don't forget to purchase from Glovana Juices this morning. Now, Macy, before we leave you to go, speak to your audience this morning why they should purchase Glovana, how they can purchase Glovana, where they can purchase Glovana.
Okay, so
your handles as well.
Glovana is located at Spinters, in the heart of Spinters.
Spinters.
It's not very far from Coastal Junction.
Okay.
So I'll leave my contact, which is 059 50 059 50203. So you can text us on WhatsApp or even make a call to purchase.
Okay.
Yes. So
repeat the numbers again.
059
59 50 203.
Yes.
059 59 50
So you can call us and then purchase. Yes.
Okay.
And we'll be happy to accept all of you to work with you all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. We will be glad also, and everyone listening. She is giving you the room to, and yes, you spoke about business ideas. Whoever wants to come on board.
So I have a proposal I'm drawing. So if anyone wants to invest in us, we'll set up a meeting. This is not something that is shabby. We are not doing shabby business. So we start a meeting, we sit down, we speak, I pitch my ideas. If you like them, you buy it. So that's it. So anyone who wants to invest in us should contact us with the number I just gave, so that we can work things out.
That is coming from the CEO of Glovana Juices. Mercy, your handles on social media.
Okay, so we are not on Instagram yet.
Okay.
But we are on Snapchat, which is m.adoma AAA as the last. So M.ADO M.ADO.MAA. The A is 3.
Okay.
And on TikTok we are at Glovana Foods. So Glovana.foods.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it.
That's it. That is just about it. It has been a delightful conversation with you here on Glovana Juices, on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And the Glovana Juices, I can see and tell that it is going places. Whoever is listening to us, I recommend Glovana Juices to you this morning. You can order as many as you want, and they are going to deliver to you wherever you are. In terms of delivery, if someone is in Kumasi and they want Glovana,
we deliver nationwide.
Nationwide delivery. So wherever you are, Shidiemo, Fanchinebe Tumechok, East Legon Hills, Green Mountains, Mangwase, and also wherever you are, Glovana will deliver to you safely and sound as well. This is where we end our conversation of the day. It has been a pleasure. We thank you for making time with us on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Meet us same time tomorrow. Again with me, it was Pakwesi Omare and
Ruth S. Namfiagbedu.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast? English breakfast. French fry.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto. Wachi.
Well, Gobe is the real deal. Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social